Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to the 7-year Streamaversary stream, our kickoff RPG, which, with some of the coolest, most wonderful people. This is to celebrate my 7-year streaming. This is also, however, Lindy's 7-year Streamaversary, because Lindy and I started streaming basically the exact same time, same month, same year, almost to the day. We're actually, 2 days apart. We're stream buddies. So if you wish, you can think of this as also celebrating Lindy's Streamaversary against her will. Yes, yes. So yay! I'm so excited. Thank you all for being here. I've got my chat here, and I wanted to get another chat over here so I want to be able to see y'all and all the things that you all are saying in chat. Let me pop this out so that I don't have to look to the side. I like to have all of the chats happening at all times. Look, it's true. It's very 1920s. It's a profile. A good profile is very 1920s. It's a. Oh, hold on a second. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. No. You just said dramatic, and this is hold on now. I'm so sorry. This is, where did I put it? Give me a second. What? No one can hear you. Give me a second. They should be able to hear you. Let's see. Give me. One moment. You get. Wait. Wait. Uh. Hey, you all can hear me, but they're talking. You can't hear them yet. Give me a second.
Give me a second, y'all. Chat, they're saying really smart things right now. It's pretty phenomenal. One, two. Y'all, they're They're chatting. It's lovely. I have not actually streamed using Zoom in a while, and I had to rebuild all of my OBS. They had a brand new OBS coming out, which is great and all. But give me one moment.
Outfit every day of the week. This is Lindy's desk show and tell. Oh, I got this on my last road trip.
You should now
little magnetic puffin from Utah
be able to hear them.
Oh, can you hear me now? I was doing desk show and tell for mostly Rocket, but also you, the audience.
You need, if you don't have, you know how they have those.
He's magnetic and he hangs out on my.
So. Yeah, do you know how they have the yard geese? That you like, it's a yard goose, but there's different outfits for them, and people always change the outfits. You need one of those, except it's a penguin.
I do.
I'm just putting that into the universe.
I do.
Okay, sorry, they couldn't hear. So what had happened was is that I have been using Twitch guest star for my games for a while now, because Twitch guest star allows you to have separate audio feeds for each player, so you can adjust their audio separately, which is so great. And if somebody drops out of the call, it doesn't change the overlay. So Twitch guest star is just brilliant and lovely. But for the Streamaversary, I was like, let's just go back to Zoom. It'll be really easy. And as it turns out, I was like, oh, dang it. The audio's been messed up. What? Thank you for bearing with me. Now you can actually hear them. Oh, so glad. Welcome, everybody. I am really excited to be here. I'm excited to be here with these particular people, and this is our first TTRPG for our 14-hour marathon stream, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about it when we get there. But first, though, I do want to introduce these players who are with me, although I have to kind of do a little bit of both so you can understand why they're here. So what happened was, this particular game, they don't know it, at least their characters don't know it, takes place in the 1940s on a train in French Morocco going to Casablanca. Now, the entire game itself does not take place in the 1940s. There are 4 adventures in this game, and only the first one takes place in the 1940s. The others take place other places and times. Don't worry about it. But because this particular campaign takes place in the 1940s in French Morocco, and therefore there are some issues of the French resistance, I thought, for this particular game, I wanted to invite people who all played in City of Light and Shadow, which was the very first long campaign that I ran on my channel, that I streamed on my channel. And so, of course, I needed to invite these fine folks. Rocket Fox, who was in the first long-form RPG that I streamed at all, which was Night Witches, and also who made this lovely t-shirt in honor of City of Light and Shadow, right? That's them.
There's the first iteration, anyway.
the first iteration. I don't know if you can still get that shirt on her merch store, but if you want to, you can get them. Team Hat and Team Chaos. And so of course I wanted to have Rocket because this game is a little bit different. So we don't necessarily need the intense skills of Rocket for this one. Rocket has a particular set of skills. A very particular. Okay, Rocket has many, many, many skills, but there is one particular set of skills that says to me,
down people who have been kidnapped and Liam Neeson style. Oh, wait, no, not that set. Oh.
Oh.
I mean, you also have that set of skills. But if I'm going to run a game that's very deadly and dangerous, Rocket is a person that I always want in that player base, because Rocket made sure that no PCs died in Night Witches, and that is a very, very deadly game. It is made for PCs to die left and right, and Rocket kept them all alive. So if ever there's a meat grinder and I don't want the players to die, I'm bringing in Rocket, because Rocket will do what it takes to keep the PCs alive, which may involve throwing all of the NPCs under the bus and getting them all dead. But
sometimes you gotta crack a few eggs, all right?
Rocket, introduce yourself.
Yes, hello everyone. I am Rocket Fox. I am your second favorite person, maybe first favorite Fox. We'll just leave that in the maybe column. But I do all sorts of stuff. As of late, I haven't been streaming on my own channel as much, but if you follow me on the other places, I've been putting out like makeup videos and making
all over
stuff with
Instagram.
dollar store things. Yeah, just stuff like that because it is easier and quicker for me to do. But yes, I am super honored and excited to be here. Trooper, I didn't know Night Wishes was your first stream long form. My God, I just get a little. But I'm so thrilled to be here. It's wonderful. I'm glad to see everyone. I'm glad to be here with this wonderful cast, and also I'm hoping that Hades remains fairly calm because I want to be the person who is. Yes, never speak to me. I'm my son again who's punching me in the face. But yes, that is who I am. You can find me in all the places. Thank you.
So the next person who I have here on the cast for us is Laugh Love Lindy. Now, Laugh Love Lindy, you may not know this, has been streaming, is my streaming twin, first off. But more importantly, Laugh Love Lindy is known for scandalizing people with one of her abilities. And I read the comments in chat those many, many years ago, and I know exactly what Lindy has done. Lindy had triangle hair at one point. And people in chat, there was some rando in chat like, why does this person have triangle hair? And the answer, of course, is because Lindy is committed to historical accuracy. Lindy knows that triangle hair was exactly what was popular in the 1920s. And Lindy busted out the authentic triangle hair. Lindy also, for Colos, busted out authentic mascara, which is a lot. It's not a little. It's period mascara is a lot. Lindy's commitment to sort of like being in the character and also being lewd and having puns never is going to be something that you will be sad to have experienced. So, Lindy, say hello.
Hi, I'm Laugh Love Lindy, and I'm Streamaversary buddies. Only 2 days apart. It's like twins being hours apart, right? In the streaming world. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, so hi, it's me. I don't know who I'm playing yet because we all have amnesia, is what I hear.
Yep.
So we're gonna just have fun with this, and I'm very excited. I like to play games. Stop me whenever you want, Trooper. And I also like cats and octopi and Call of Cthulhu and horror games, but not horror movies or video games, just tabletop RPGs. And I love percentile dice systems. I like a lot of systems. I'm an addict, and I know too many limericks, and I was going to tell Rockette some before stream, but I forgot, so I'll have to tell Rockette some more after stream, because apparently Rockette's a limerick connoisseur, so, and I got limericks for days.
Max Ryder wants to know what triangle hair is.
Oh, okay, so if you have curly hair, especially, and you just get it cut all one length, it tends to whoosh, like, flare out at the bottom, but not like a flip, because that would require you to have straighter wavy hair. Like right now it's kind of rounded because the last lady who gave me a haircut did the exact opposite of what I wanted and rounded it out. I'm not bitter.
And you're like, I want triangle hair.
I would much rather have a triangle. I could do so many more historical accurate things with triangle hair than like, oh, look, I look so with this modern haircut. Anyways, I'm not bitter. And yeah, so I had it like a bob, like up to here, and it was a cute little like kind of triangled. It looked very 1920s. Like if you've seen they did a really good job with the hair in Fantastical Beasts and Where to Find Them. So if you look at like the ladies' hair in there, especially those who have the curlier hair, this little triangle, yeah, I had that. And someone was like, in chat was, I guess, never seen historical hair or something. It was just like, oh, why does this GM have? Why is her hair a triangle? She looks like. Oh, I was like, my guy, you would not know. I didn't say anything, but I laughed about it a lot afterwards. I was like, wow, this person took my hair really personally.
They got a sand loss and they failed. So it was a sand check and they failed it. Pow check. So, and then of course, our third player for this game, this one shot, is someone who the person who out of this particular group, I've known the youngest, but he is not young. He's old. No, actually, I'm way older than he is. But Simon. Okay, so Simon, I got to play with Simon on a couple of games with Prax Regardless and in the time period that I've known Simon, Simon and I have done a lot of co-working on Zoom in nights and having like long conversations about game design and games and life. And I learned a lot about wolves. And I really appreciate that Simon does not get mad that I pepper him with questions about Canada and the history of Quebec and Montreal. And it's been, he's introduced me to some very cool music, and it's a person who just makes me happy and who's just been a great support to like this whole crew. So, Simon, say hello.
Hello, thank you for that introduction. I'm Simon at Wandering DM, he, him, and it's true we're not playing. I'm playing an amnesic today. Yeah, no, I'm super happy to be here, and I'm very honored that you asked me to be part of your Streamaversary.
And I'm troopersjp. It's SJP. It's my Streamaversary. But we're also raising money for charity, the GLPT Historical Society. There's like a button up there. We currently have $220 out of $700. Thank you everyone who's donated so far. $700 for 7 years of streaming. Yeah, weird. But let's talk about the game. In 1985, a game was released, and that game was Sandman, the map of Halaal. And make yourself 13 years old. You're 13 years old. You walk down the street many, many blocks to get to the game store called Game Masters in San Francisco on Geary Street. You also have no money. So you walk to the game store. Your parents are like, yeah, go to the game store, hang out there for an hour. Nice. So you just walk down there, you go to the game store, you walk in. In the far back, there are people playing miniature games, and they're not friendly, so you don't talk to them, but they're in the far back, who cares? Instead, you go to the rack of games, and you see all of these games, and they're these like really, and at the time, lots of boxes, right? Everything in very colorful and interesting boxes. And you cannot afford them. You can save up and maybe you can get one, right, after some time period. But you look at them anyway, and you look at all the cool dice, they're cool dice and all that. And this one game I kept looking at, and it was this one. And there was also a little sticker on the front that said that there was a prize for $10,000 in 1985 money if you solved the mystery of this game. And I was like, what is this game? What is this about? It says, instant adventure, a dramatic entertainment game. Remember, we're playing a lot of D&D right now. And then you look at the back. And that was very evocative as a back cover. And it said, the train whistle screams and your passenger earplugs, your passenger car plunges into another tunnel. 6 shots snap in the darkness. When sunlight floods the compartment once more, a man lies bleeding on the floor. He whispers a warning, then mysteriously fades away. Who was he? Why was he murdered? And most importantly, who are you? The Sandman. He knows your name. You don't. He knows where you are. You don't. He knows what you have done and why you must die. You don't. To survive, you must journey through a tempestuous world in search of answers to a question as tenuous as your own existence. You play the role of an amnesiac traveler lost in a world beyond the natural. The rules are brief, preparation easy, and the story rich. So the Sandman is waiting. Why don't you face him? And I watched this box for months and months and months and months and months and months. And I always wanted to get it. And then I didn't because I didn't have the money. And then it turns out that this game, which is, everyone's like talking about how like the new thing is these story-rich narrativist games, right? This is like the new thing. But, and if people want to do their history, they would sort of tie it back to the beginning of The Forge or maybe the adventures of Baron Munchausen. So like basically the end of the 90s is when people say that this sort of movement started. But this game does it, and it did it in 1985. And I feel like it was maybe a little bit too early, so it was a massive flop, and then it was gone, and you couldn't get it anywhere. And so for a couple of decades, I just remember thinking about it, this game, and like 2 years ago, 1 year ago, I was like, let me just check eBay, because I thought about it again. And there it was, pretty cheap on eBay, because again, it was a huge flop and nobody bought it. And I got it. And I said, I'm going to play this with cool people at some point in time. And this time is now. So I'm so excited to be able to play this game that was a huge, massive flop. And maybe it's cool. Maybe it sucks. I don't know. But as a good 1980s game, it does come with percentile dice in the box, because that's how games are back then. And it's a kind of a neat, interesting game. It's got like a GM screen, and it's got all the things that it's got. So they give you like a map for the adventure in pictograms. The players do not have character sheets, but I can track their wounds. I wouldn't worry about that at all. And the rules can all fit basically on 1.5 pages, more or less. And it was made to be fiction first, very dramatic, very cinematic, all about the story, not letting the rules get in the way. They say that, of course, the players need no preparation, and the GM needs minimal preparation. We will see how that goes, but I have got ourselves ready for it. And I need to give the players some information about the game, and I thought I'd just tell them now. 1, you don't have a character sheet. That's fine, don't worry about it. There is, according to this, there is only one rule in this whole game that is carved in stone, and that is have fun. Right there on the top. That's what it says, the first rule. So I need to let you know that you will start this game with amnesia. And you don't know this yet, but I'm telling you now that this will start in 1940s in French Morocco on a train. But the second point that you need to know, which is right here, because I feel like you should know it, is, although the PCs suffer from amnesia, they do have, please note this, as much general knowledge as the average person in 1985. Maybe even a little more. So yes, you all wake up in 1940s, but you do have all of the general knowledge of the average person in 1985. Just make of that what you will. That's a thing. I will also note that you do have skills. Each one of you has skills. You do not know what they are until you do something that would fall under what that skill is. And when you do something that falls under what that skill is, I will let you know that you have that skill. If you are, generally speaking, to do a skill roll, if you want to sort of succeed in a skill that you do not have a skill in, it's a 40% chance on a normal sort of a standard difficulty is 40% or lower. If it's a reduced difficulty because it's difficult, it's a 20%. If you have skills in that thing, then you have higher percentages, of course. And if there's combat in a turn, it's about 5 seconds, you can do 1 move and 1 action. There you go. Degrees of success matter. That's all you need to know.
Okay.
That's it.
I'm ready.
So, shall we begin? I have a secret for later, but I'll just tell you that in a different moment.
Trooper.
Excited. Yes.
I hate to do this as the game begins.
I don't care.
But
do you need to go to the bathroom?
My chunker of a cat just peed a little on my pant leg. I'm just gonna go change my pants. I'll be right back.
No, go.
I'll be the last one to wake up. Sorry, everyone.
So Simon's character is dead immediately, bleeding all over the floor.
Out of his leg. Yeah.
It's fine. This adventure, I'm going to tell you the secret now because Simon's gone. It's not really a secret. So this book was part of a planned series of books using this system. They planned to do a whole big thing. If you could figure out the identity of the Sandman, you could win $10,000. That never came to fruition because the game flopped really badly, which means there is a bit of a mystery here. But there are 4 adventures, of which we'll be doing 1 today. I don't know what's going to happen with these players. Maybe they'll be very excited about doing more.
What if we discover the identity of the Sandman now? Could we still win the $10,000?
I don't know. But here's the thing that I'm thinking. Because you have to like fill out this whole thing. And what I'm going to say is that means that I, as the GM, clearly don't know the answer either, because if the answer was in the booklet, then all the GMs could be just like, oh, look, you could just, read it and find out. But, so
we just need to find out who got really big in 1986.
Yes.
Yep.
It's the Sandman Mystery official entry form.
Oh.
You have to, these are the questions. I'm gonna read you the questions that you have to fill out for your entry form, because I don't know, maybe that will give you interesting information.
We've got this.
Wait a second, Trooper. I have a second. Are you delaying starting until Simon gets back? Because we all wake up in the same bed on a train. Like it's a sleeper train and it's like scandalous. And that's how we start this campaign.
And you're completely naked? Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Carry on then. I just wanted to make sure. Yes,
Whitney's character wakes up saying limericks for some reason that nobody
knows why.
So I've been listening all that time.
Oh, the game comes with cards, which I have made digital versions of for you all when they are so relevant. And a bunch of props, which is very exciting. But these are the questions that at the end of the 4 adventures, of which we are doing 1 today, if you can answer them, you could then enter into this contest. And I just thought you might find these questions interesting. 1, what is your name? Please note, this is not your name, but I think the name of your character, perhaps. What else are you sometimes called? What are you?
Oh, no.
What is your relationship to the other player characters?
Mm-hmm.
Who and what is the Sandman? What is your fundamental problem? What?
Wow, what a question.
Right?
Well,
yeah.
How many lines are there after that?
Yeah, I know.
What is the purpose of your adventures? And then finally, what specific clues in the adventures led you to your conclusions? List as many as you like, but show their relevance to your relevance. I said relevance to your solution.
I was hoping that was a typo so bad.
Oh, no, me too. It would be very 80s. So show your work, as Max Ryder says. So I'll just let you know, there's this 1980s game that has these really, really provocative questions that I feel like you should just keep in mind as we begin our first adventure, now that Simon is back.
I'm asleep on a train.
Asleep on a train. How did you know you were asleep? Because that is true.
Because it's the Sandman and he brings me a dream. He's going to be the cutest that I've ever seen.
Well, that's one way of thinking about it, sure. Yeah. So, you all awaken, stiff and dry-mouthed, to dawn's first light on the horizon. It shines in a ribbon of brilliant, burnished gold, glittering upon the rocky desert sands rolling by. You've got to be on a train. A large, dusty window frames the view. It's beautiful. And the gentle rocking motion, combined with the monotonous clatter of metal wheels on tracks, makes it very hard to awaken completely. It's that gentle rocking motion. And of course, it's a steam train, right? So you've got that sort of like gentle rocking sound, the click, clack, sort of moving through space. And the sun, as it sort of hits your face, is warm. You're not alone. You're in a train car, and there are 4 people in this train car. The 3 of you, and a man. And he's dressed in a suit, and he's got a white, narrow-brimmed hat. And he's sitting in, there are 2 benches right facing each other. There's the door to the compartment and the big window on the other side. The window itself has got these green curtains that have been pulled back, and the top of the window has been lowered a little bit, so there's a soft breeze coming in. On the other side, there's a door, and the door itself has a bit of a window. And there are these racks with some luggage on top. So it's clearly one of these sort of cars, and it's a deep wood. It's a sort of beautiful car itself. And you are all wearing 1940s traveling attire. Remember, you know everything that an average person in 1985 would know, but you are wearing 1940s traveling attire. And the compartment itself is a bit old-fashioned from, let's say, 1980s eyes. Really good varnished wood trim, a wooden door, cracked leather seats. And the door has that little window looking into the corridor, but the shade is pulled down so you cannot see into the corridor. And then you've got this beautiful picture window. And the man, sort of graying, clean shaven, it's the 1940s after all, a bit of a sort of like a white hat tweed suit. And he is closest to the door. He's on the outside, he's like corridor side. I don't know who's sitting across from him and who in the other sort of spaces. I would like to know who is the person sitting right across. Which of you is sitting right across from him, also close to the door?
I'll be.
Okay.
And then who's sitting to his left?
Take it.
Which means that you, I will call you Simon for now, are sitting across from Rockhead, who I'll call Rockhead from now.
Mm-hmm.
And this person, this man, stretches. Oh, good morning. Oh, we must have all dozed off. Strange how sleep can just overpower you and just take over. Even in the middle of the conversation we were having. Oh well. What time do we get in? Do you know?
That's a great question.
Strange. I feel like I should know.
Especially Remind since me.
I made our arrangements. Oh, I think we were talking about the dig. Yes, I think we were talking about the dig. Why can't I remember what time we're getting in? And at this moment, you realize that none of you have any idea who you are. You have no idea where you are going. You have no idea who this man is. And you have no idea why you're on the train. What do you all do?
Play it real cool. Play it cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Panic internally.
Yeah, try not to break down. But we probably have like train tickets on our person.
With, I'm sorry. Are you checking your person?
Arrival. I'm going to check the inside pockets or my pockets. I don't know what how. I don't know how how am I dressed?
I'm going to ask you a question since you checked your pockets.
Okay.
Give me you have a choice. Ross, Bright, or Harris?
Ross, Bright, or Harris?
Mm-hmm.
I'll go with Bright.
You check your paperwork. You check your body. I'm going to, in Roll20, I'm going to make a handout available to you.
Ooh.
And yes, let me make this available to you. This will be in your journal. Let me save those changes. And I'm also going to make it so that the audience can see this for the moment. I believe that should bring them in. Let's see. Come here, audience. Oh, man. I know you know what it is? I'm still in studio mode. There we go. So there is if there's this really lovely handout that you notice, would you read it out loud so that we all can know what you have found?
Yes, but okay. The body check. Clothing. You're wearing a lightweight beige suit, American cut, style of the early 40s. Hat, belt, shoes, underwear, all the usual garments are included and all are of excellent quality. A man's ring with a small diamond circles your right ring finger. The 38. Beneath your suit coat in a shoulder holster is a .38 caliber 6-shot revolver, fully loaded. In your pockets, a valid train ticket, from Algiers to Casablanca, French Morocco, a handkerchief, comb, fountain pen, cigarette lighter, but no cigarettes. I also have a leather wallet, American made, and a passport. In my wallet, I have $200 in French francs, money issued by the Nazi-dominated government in Vichy, France. Nice. I have a pistol permit from the state of Ohio. I have 2 business cards reading, well, damn, Dr. William Bright, MD, Office of the Board of Trustees, Ohio State University, Columbus, Ohio. I also have an Ohio driver's license for William Bright. I'm going to dox my character on stream. 232 Oakland Court, Upper Arlington, Ohio. I was born on June 22nd, 1895. I'm 5'10", 170 pounds, brown eyes and brown hair and hazel eyes. And my passport was issued November 10, 1941, with information identical to that on the driver's license. The passport shows travel from the United States to Dublin, Ireland. Arrival November 27th, 1941. From then on, the route is virtually nonstop. Dublin to Lisbon, Portugal to Algiers, French Algeria to French Morocco. Entry date, December 2nd, 1941. The stamp for French Morocco allows the bearer to remain in that country for up to 10 days. An exit visa is attached, permitting the bearer to leave French Morocco.
Mm-hmm. That is what is on your person.
I would like to also check my person.
Would you?
I would.
Ross or Harris? Simon, if you would change your name on the Roll20 to note that you are Bright.
Yes.
Let's go. Zoom, please.
Yes. Let's go with Harris.
You are Harris. Let me see. Harris, here you are. Let me share this with you. This will be in your journal. Fox, if you would you read out what you have found on your person?
I would. Let me zoom in because that is very
Hit
small.
that little Z button. It's so good. Just pops it all out. Hit Z. Yeah, it's really nice.
Wonderful.
Hit Z and you just get giant. Love it.
Hey, all right. Prop 1C female, origin scene 1. The body check. Clothing. You're wearing a lightweight beige suit. American cut style of the early 1940s, of respectable but not expensive quality. Hat, belt, shoes, underwear, all the usual garments and accessories are included. In your purse, a valid train ticket from Algeria to Casablanca, French Morocco. Handkerchief, comb, fountain pen, cosmetics and toiletries, compact lipstick, file of perfume, etc. A leather wallet, American made, passport, a pistol. The pistol tucked into your purse is a .32 caliber 8-shot automatic pistol, fully loaded. It's small but deadly. A quote-unquote banker's gun. In the wallet, 200 in French francs, money issued by the Nazi-dominated government in Vichy, France. Permit pistol from the state of Ohio, 2 business cards, reading. Janice Harris, PhD, Department of Archeology, Ohio State University, Columbus, Ohio. Ohio driver's license for Janice Harris. Lots of information that I don't think means anything to us unless we're in Ohio. Height 5'5", weight 115, hair brown, eyes blue. The passport issued, birth date May 10th, 1915. American passport issued November 10th, 1941, with information identical to that on the driver's license. The passport shows travel from the United States to Dublin, Ireland, arrival November 27th, 1941. From then on, the route is virtually nonstop. Dublin to Lisbon, Portugal to Algiers, French Algeria to French Morocco, entry date December 2nd, 1941. The stamp for French Morocco allows the bearer to remain in that country for up to 10 days. An exit visa is attached, permitting the bearer to leave. And that is italicized French Morocco.
Yes, indeed. Now, I'm going to assume, Lindy, that you just don't check your body because you're like, why would you care?
No, I see like the others like going through the pockets, and I'm like, that's a grand idea. And I first find these glasses, and then I'm gonna keep looking.
You are Ross. Let me
Yes, I am.
put this
Hello.
in your inventory, and if you would.
The body check. Clothing. You're wearing a lightweight beige suit. Again. American cut, style of the late 1930s. It makes sense. But style of the late 1930s. Of respectable, but not expensive quality. Hat, belt, shoes, underwear. I was kind of hoping one of them wouldn't have underwear, and it'd be really funny.
I will
jewelry,
note that
all the usual
you're wearing
included.
You're wearing a style from the late 30s,
late 30s. They have the 40s.
rather than the 40s.
I know.
Just
Which is funny because technically this is from the early 50s, and we're in the 40s.
No.
But it's fine. In my purse is a valid train ticket from Algiers to Casablanca, a handkerchief, comb, fountain pen, a cigarette lighter, cosmetic and toiletries, a compact lipstick, a phial of perfume, American cigarettes, a leather wallet, American-made wallet, a passport, a pistol. The pistol is a .32 caliber, 8-shot automatic pistol, fully loaded. It's a small but deadly banker's gun. It's also tucked in my purse. I also have 200 French francs from the Nazi-dominated government in Vichy. I do have a pistol permit. I have 2 business cards reading. Margaret J. Ross, PhD, Department of Archeology, Ohio State University. My Ohio driver's license for Margaret J. Ross. I was born in August 2nd, 1905. And I'm 5'6", 125 pounds, hair brown, eyes brown. Oh my gosh, it's me, but way taller. Like a half
way
foot
taller.
Half a taller I am. The passport was issued on November 10th, 1941. Yeah, basically the same route, interestingly enough. Yes.
So you all clearly been traveling together, and we have 2 archaeologists and a doctor, somebody in their sort of 26, 36, and 46. And one of you does not have cigarettes, but one of you does. And you all have guns. All of you have guns.
Me too.
And yes, you do. Which is, I'm sure, very normal. But you all have francs. You have money to deal with when you get to wherever you're going. So you check your person, and that is what you find. What do you do?
I'd be looking around the train car to see, are there any like small posters or signs? Do we have luggage?
You do have luggage above you in the racks. Absolutely.
I would, I think, get up and just, oh, excuse me, I need to just check something, and start looking to see if I can find one that says Janice Harris, which I'm assuming would be mine.
Yes. And he goes, oh, Doctor, what do you think? How long do you think we'll be successful in this? By the way, I should note this. The man who's next to you is cradling in his lap a large leather briefcase, but not like the kind of modern business ones, but kind of like the slightly thicker ones, it's a bit more, it's like somewhere between a briefcase and a bag. And he's sort of holding, like he's sort of relaxed himself, but when he woke up, the first thing he did was check to make sure that the bag was there. And he sort of keeps it not at his feet, but on his lap with his arm around it, as if this is something important. And he does not want to lose it, let's say, as the train clacks along. So, doctors, how long do you think we'll be there, Professor?
Oh, well, looking at my passport, closing it, putting it back in my pocket. I think 10 days or less. Well, hoping less than 10 days.
Yes, me too. Do you think we can get everything done in that time?
Well, I have you like maybe we should make a list and of priorities, things that we should get done first. That way, if we do have to leave before we're done, we have gotten the most important things done first.
Yes.
You should be in charge of that.
What, me?
No, I point to the guy across who's holding the thing in his lap. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's very kind of you, but I'm not the expert. Not like you two, pointing to you two archaeologists.
Oh. Oh, look at Rocket.
At that point, would have, I imagine, found my question mark bag and pull it down and then kind of sit back down next to this individual. Yes, we are the experts. Looks across. But it is important that we take everyone's opinions into consideration.
That makes sense. That makes sense. At that point in time, as he's beginning to sort of think about this, and he says, "Well, if I didn't know better, but I would think." And then you get the shrill blast of the train, right? Like the big train whistle sort of interrupts him, and like it cuts him off, and he sort of like starts a little like, oh, and then he chuckles because he thought that was he was sort of made nervous by that. It was like
I was ready to look for a doctor's bag under my seat.
There is a doctor's bag under your seat, but it's fine. It was just a false alarm. And as he's about to finish what he's going to say, the train itself sort of goes into the tunnel, and you are completely plunged into darkness. You can't see anything, and as your eyes are adjusting, you just sort of hear out of nowhere, blam, blam! Blam, 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 blam! These just explosions of gunshots just out of nowhere. And there are these fiery flashes of light from some kind of gun barrel. And then you hear the deafening blasts inside of this small train car. And then you hear a body hit the floor with a deep, deep thud. And then you hear the door to your train car shut, as if someone has either entered or left. And then, in a brief moment, the train emerges from the tunnel, and light comes back into the car.
I'm on the floor because I hit the deck next to the dead body, I now presume, of whoever. Guessing it's not us.
You are on the floor next to a body. That is true, because there is a body on the floor right next to you, as a matter of fact.
I felt a thud next to me, and I was like, oh, good, someone else hit the deck. And then the lights come on, I'm like,
yes, and by the way, it was 7 shots that you hear shoot out. And next to you, on the floor, is your friend, who's been talking to you this time with the hat. And he is...
No, my friend.
On the floor, bleeding profusely, blood spurting out of a number of holes in his chest. And
oh dear.
And he spurts, and he says to you all, I will note his briefcase is gone. It is not there. It is not on his person. And he says, the blood just like spurts from his mouth. And he goes, the map. Get the map. And he expires. His eyes close, and his blood trickles from his mouth, and he falls still.
I look for him because right across the floor from me, I look at the other two. I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Is everyone all right? Everyone else bleeding? Anyone injured?
I'm not injured.
Clearly, we're not all right. I kind of looks down at. Did anyone see anything?
It was just hit the floor because he heard gunshots, and then I heard another thud. But I thought if someone else was smart and hit the floor, but he was dang. And then like stands up, unbuttons the suit, and is just like, okay, just breathe.
And would look at Dr. William Wright, and he changes. I would look at Dr. William Wright, and I would note, I'm assuming I would notice there's the doctor bag kind of nearby. Well, you appear to be a doctor of some sort. Check him.
But
I think he's already croaked.
I think he's already dead, but I might. I'm just gonna give the body a once over. First of all, is there still a pulse? Like, who knows? He might have passed out but not died.
One moment. I'm afraid you just decided to search the body, to examine it. If you don't mind, I'm going to need something from you. I'm going to need you to make a roll, but please do not do it just yet, because you need something first before you do. I believe... Yeah. This is what I need from you. Simon, I've placed a skill card on our playmat. That is yours. You can flip it over, and you can look at it. Yes. You have the medicine skill. And as you sort of search over the body, it's interesting because as you're looking over the body, it's easy for you to do so. And out of nowhere, like details about wounds and medicine and anatomy just spring to your mind. And you know that you have had extensive medical training. You don't know where or when, because after all, you don't even know who you are. But you know that you have been trained, and you can like feel there's a skill that sort of comes back to you. And when you sort of look at him, he's definitely dead. Absolutely. And he has suffered 6 gunshot wounds to the chest. You heard 7 shots, but he suffered 6 gunshot wounds in his chest. And your guess as a medical professional is that was a 38 caliber weapon is what killed him. He does have a passport on him. It's Ohio's driver's license to a Paul Museman, Bluebird Lane, Columbus. He has some cards that identify him as Dr. Paul Museman, the comptroller of Ohio State University. And he has visas on his passport, just like you, that indicates that he traveled from the United States to French Morocco via London, Lisbon, and Algeria. And he's got $250, the equivalent of $250 in French franc. And as you are, but he has no gun on his person.
That's what happens when you don't have a gun.
Well, we took an oath, you know? Well, I'm afraid to tell you, but Dr. Newsman is deceased. Newsman, that his name. If I counted correctly, there were 7 shots fired. He's only been hit 6 times.
I double checked myself.
None of you are hiding any injuries, are you?
Not that I'm aware of. I would start looking around the car to see if there's any like
same mind, Rocket. Yeah, we're just
peas in a pod. Peas in a pod.
And as you're
archaeologists,
the door to your car swings open, and a short, weaselly-faced man is there, and he's holding.
I'm kidding. I don't.
Holding a white suit, right, with a black tie, and he has this strange package under his arm that's like wrapped in like a brown paper and like tied up with a twine, kind of large, bulky, and he just says very quietly, he says, "Good morning. Would you mind holding this for me, please? Thank you so very much." And he tosses something into your train car and then shuts the door. This a dark object.
Is it ticking?
Yes.
Can I throw it out
Can we check it immediately?
It's a gun of some type, and it just bounces.
Is it a 38 caliber?
It is a 38 caliber, as a matter of fact.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like what killed this guy. Yeah.
And it sort of like bounces onto the empty seat right beside the door, where your friend was, but now is dead, in a pool of blood. Oh, I'm sorry. Where your friend was, the body's no longer there. It's just gone.
That must have been the killer.
Oh, wait. Bodies don't just disappear.
I have to ask you because
away with him.
Some people were looking around the car. Doctor, were you still keeping your eyes on the body?
Well, what I said earlier is after I looked at him, I asked Janice and Margaret if they had any injuries, and I figure I must have looked up at them to ask the question, then saw the person come in.
Yeah.
I'm assuming I'm still I'm still where the body was, like probably still crouched down, but the body's no longer there.
Yes.
Is the blood
no
still
longer
there?
Nope.
Clean.
Completely clean. The only thing left in this room is that gun. Also, the wallet's gone, the passport, the driver's license.
Did we see anything looking around the car? Margaret and Janice?
No signs of any extra gunshots, no. And there's no sign that there was anything that happened in this room at all, actually, besides the gun that's sitting there.
I think as soon after the gun got thrown in, and we see the body's gone, Janice would swing open the door and look out to see if she could see where this little weasel-faced man went.
I would check the gun to see how many bullets it has left, if any.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put our dramatic music back on. So
with gloves. Wait, no, with my handkerchief, because I don't have gloves. I have a handkerchief though, so I don't want to get my fingerprints on this.
So there's a bit of like a chaos as you're both going to do these things. So this is what you get very quickly. The gun itself actually is a 45. You thought it was a 30, but it's a 45. It's American made. It's a Colt. When it's fully loaded, it would hold 8 bullets, but right now it only has 1 and it's warm. It has been shot recently, has been fired. No. And our dear, oh, would you put your, Janice, Dr. Harris, when you sort of like rush out into the hallway, you sort of poke your eyes out into this corridor that's coming down, and you can see a couple of other passengers in other compartments have also poked their heads out to see what's happening. And there's a woman who steps out, and she looks at the door of the compartment that's right next to yours on the same line, so you cannot see what she's looking at. But she's looking, and you caught, before she stepped out, you caught the man, the sort of weasel-faced man, go through the door that she's looking at, right? He just like slipped into that door in the train car right next to yours. And she's looking at this train car, and she walks up to the door, and she puts her hand on the door, and she sort of like runs her hand along it, and then she looks at her hand, and then she starts screaming. And you can see that her hand is covered in blood, and she faints dead away.
Oh, no.
Jess immediately would run over and kind of crouch down next to this woman, just to see if she didn't hit her head or, something like that. And then would crouch down, look at this gal, and then kind of look to where the door is.
The door has got blood, obviously, but the blood, someone has scrawled in blood the SS, like 2 S's from the SS, right? Just in blood right there on the window to this cart.
And the door is open?
The door is currently closed. The weasel-faced guy who dropped you the gun sort of went in and shut the door behind him. She did not see him go in, but you did, because you got out there before she did.
You two, come here! And then is going to go over to open.
I'm going to grab Dr. Bright's sleeve for a moment after hearing that, to make sure he doesn't go, and goes, I think this is the murder weapon. Should we throw it out the window? I don't think it's a good idea to have this on us. This is the murder weapon, by the way.
Yeah, it's definitely the murder weapon. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I know.
I'm holding it with a handkerchief.
That is a fully loaded lobster.
I mean, your friend was shot with a 38, and this is a 45, so I'm sure it's fine. And yes, it was fired recently, so I mean,
there's 7 bullets missing, and there's 7 bullets missing. There were 7 shots, and it's still warm.
And I'm still trying to figure out how a body can just disappear.
Look, the body may have disappeared, but this evidence won't. I don't want to be caught with it.
Get out here! There's blood out here!
Okay, and I just open the window, and then...
No! You toss the gun out of the window of the moving train. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I do.
Well, here goes maybe our chance to prove our innocence. You know, prints and all.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
I'll grab the bag and I'll immediately run to
the smoking gun's
Janice.
a good way to prove our innocence. Innocent mother. And I'll go out. And as I do, I grab my suitcase that says marker. I look Marker Trey Ross, and I grab it with me because I don't know what it's got in it, but I might need any of it. And this is all weird and terrible, and it's blah. I don't remember anything.
And again, people are looky-looing, and you open the door. Dr. Harris, you open the door, and there's this, of course, somebody has scrawled SS in blood on the door. And as you open the door, there are 2 dead bodies inside this compartment, men, and they are covered in blood, a sort of sweet, sickly smell. And they wear the uniforms of the German SS. And they have clearly been shot quite a bit.
Is either of them the Weasley-faced man?
No. He's not in here.
The window's not open, or?
Nope. The window is not open. But he is not in here. The only thing in here are these 2 murdered German SS officers in uniform.
Doctor, I think you should take a look at this.
Well, yes, on my way, on my way.
Right behind him.
Wait.
With my suitcase.
And kind of just backing away from the room.
I'll start with the person that is the closest to the door by which I come in.
The one that's closest to you has been shot 3 times with a 45 caliber weapon, probably like a Colt.
You said 3 times?
Mm-hmm. Right in the chest.
And the other body, I guess, 4 times?
Yes, indeed. The other one has been shot 4 times, also with a 45 caliber gun. And you can hear like the murmurs from the cars next to you as people are like, oh, what happened? Oh, did you hear this gunshot?
Also, I think Janice is going to be kind of looking up and down this hall. Is there no security here? Is nobody else coming?
Oh, funny that you mentioned that. That's when you hear voices. And the doors on the car, because you've got these trains, right? The doors open on either end, and you see 3 men on one side and 3 men on the other in the sort of dark beige uniforms with the leather belt that crosses their chest and around their chest, with the sort of the hats, the shoulder straps, the sort of you can tell that the French Moroccan police have arrived, and they sort of shout out, attention, madame et monsieur, clear the corridor, go back to your compartments at once, do not leave your compartments, everyone back to your compartments.
There's been a shooting.
Yes, we know. Back to your compartments, everyone.
With my suitcase.
And they sort of walk up to see what you all are doing.
I'm a doctor.
Good.
Just want to make sure these. Well, I was trying to help. I was just trying to help.
You're a doctor.
Yes.
What have you seen?
Well, I'll motion to the 2 bodies here. I haven't seen them getting shot, but I've heard them. The 7 shots total.
Pulls out a notebook and starts writing down what you say, because you are a doctor after all.
There was a man wearing a white shirt and a black tie. He saw us, and then I'll just glance very quickly at Margaret as she leaves to go back to our compartment. And just go, he
had a face like a weasel
gun out the window. Yes, he looked like a weasel.
I
mean, not the animal, just features. Sorry, I apologize. I'm a little frazzled. This is not how I had envisioned my trip.
Good. Doctor, go back to your compartment. I would like all of you to stay there. We will be bringing you all in for questioning in the dining car. Everyone stay in your compartments. We have to investigate this.
Jess would go back into the compartment.
Appreciate your insight.
In the compartment, I've got my suitcase open, and I'm tearing through it like a madwoman, trying to find out what's all in there.
Yeah, I think as soon as Jazz gets back in, because she had pulled her suitcase down, would flip it open where she was seated. Actually, no, she'd sit down and put it where our invisible friend was seated.
We're just gonna pretend like he never. I think I'm just gonna turn and be like, he disappeared. Are we just gonna pretend like he never is this? Like he never we don't know what happened to him? Because I don't.
Well, the police didn't ask about him.
Okay.
What's in your suitcase?
That's a great
she's also
question.
rifling.
Oh yes, I'm from Ohio.
The police are put everyone back in their cars so they can take each group of people in each of the cars and question them separately. They kind of want to keep. It's clear they want to keep this situation not in chaos, right? So they've got each of these groups, and as you're sitting there, y'all are in your car rifling through things. You can hear that they've brought people, like that fainted woman, they brought her back, and her and everybody in her car they've taken out and they're probably going to question them. They're probably going to hit each one of you all in turn, but you do have a little bit of time before they come for you.
Don't hit me, I'm delicate.
Your suitcases have clothes. You have changes of clothes. You have, it looks like, not just regular nice traveling clothes. It looks like you have, how would I describe this? Kind of like Indiana Jones, 1940s style archeological clothes. It looks as if you would be aiming towards going somewhere. You've got mosquito netting. You've got the kind of things that say to you, yes, that you seem to be packed to go off investigating something, and you've got sets of tools, right? Like your doctor has got the doctor's bag, but you all have like little trowels, little notebooks, little specimen cases. You've got a little hammer and
chisel.
Thank you, hammer and chisel. So you seem to have a sort of a light set, not particularly heavy, but a light set of tools for which one could do archaeological work, I suppose also breaking and entering, but I mean more or less, archaeological work as you would do.
Is there anything written in those little notebooks, or are they blank and fresh and new?
They're blank.
Okay.
Fresh and ready for you to go on your
That's what I thought,
dig.
but it was worth an ask. I've seen enough 80s movies. I'm gonna get a change of clothes out, and I'm just gonna put it on. Decency be damned. I'm just gonna put it on underneath the outfit I'm wearing. Because the police have seen me in this outfit. But if I need to suddenly transform, I'm gonna be prepared, damn it.
I would like to point out,
Yes.
Professor Harris and Dr. Bright, your companion, Dr. Ross, is putting a second set of clothing underneath her current set of clothing. Seems a little manic. it looks like Dr. Bright seems a little shocked as well. Seems people a little rattled. Yeah.
I'm just going to avert my gaze for a moment while Margaret's getting dressed. And
what are you doing?
How does this work? I don't know. Is this a girdle? I just don't. Okay.
I'm going to note something for you because it does seem important.
Okay.
It does seem weird, the clothing. Like, this is not particularly sort of sets of undergarments that you are used to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like this is the kind of clothing
Especially
that you
since
just...
I'm wearing the late 30s clothing and not the early 40s clothing. Yeah. It's not 80s, like, at all.
General knowledge of the 80s probably does not include that.
It does not, which is why she's a little confused. She's just gonna keep the underclothes of her skirt like that. That's right. I'm Ohio. I wouldn't mind a little help with the girdle here. Yeah, I just figured in case like things get really bad, we have to go on the lam. We should have a
Janice will help like clip stuff in the back.
I don't know what they're gonna accuse us of. Shit's been weird since I've woken up on this train today. Remember, it's like, wait a second. I have to play normal.
And just kind of turn and look at the two of them very candidly. Do either of you remember what conversation we were having before?
Not a clue.
Asleep?
No idea. But also, half out of character. We haven't said our names out loud yet, have we?
No.
You have not.
But more important than the conversation, who are you two and why are we traveling together?
Oh my god, you can't remember anything either, can you?
I remember I'm a doctor, apparently. Or at least
apparently. You said apparently. You
I knew those were 38 caliber bullet wounds. I don't know why I know this.
Oh my god, do we have like
not because you shot him?
Did we all collectively get hit on the head in our sleeps?
I did not shoot him. I have my I'll
he has a gun.
Unholster my pistol and like basically show open the chamber and show that there's like still 6 bullets inside.
Okay. Hi, I'm apparently Margaret J. Ross, archaeologist of Ohio State University.
Oh, I'm Janice Harris, also archaeologist at Ohio State University.
Oh my gosh, we're colleagues.
And well, we're all dressed like triplets, so I'm assuming we did travel together.
Well, I'm part of the office of the Board of Trustees of Ohio State University.
Oh, we're all. So Ohio State University is the key. Maybe.
I suppose they're somehow behind this. Do you?
No idea.
Maybe
that was actually Houdini. He's still alive right now, right?
We're in 1985.
Why would Houdini be here? I'm pretty sure that's
he fucking disappeared.
Wait, no.
Ohio.
We're
Ohio.
not.
I don't think he did train work.
I don't know. I never paid much attention to that.
Houdini died like 15 years ago.
Did he?
As of 1985 or now?
No. Aren't we in 1941?
That's what my passport says.
Same.
That's what it seems to.
But I have no idea how to work this girdle. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you.
Finishes clipping it.
Thank you.
So more importantly, and Janice will slide the door slightly open and peek out, then close it and turn back around. Something is clearly afoot.
Yeah, we need to get our story straight for when they all bring us into questioning.
I'm going to note, by the way, just for the record,
I know.
It is.
We want to make sure they know we didn't do anything.
It is true. You do know who the president is of the United States, and if you would know who the president of like the Prime Minister of Canada is, in 1985. That when I say general knowledge, you do know all of that.
Pong. They know how to play video games. Like we know how to
that is correct.
Yeah.
So that it would have been like the last we remember, even though there's not details, it'd be like, well, yesterday it was 1985.
That is correct. That's general knowledge. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And you do not know being Janice Harris. That is not a thing you know. But you do know general world about.
Ronald Reagan is president, right? And he's fix the economy. Okay.
Who's even president in 1940? I flunked history class.
Ronald Reagan.
Well, apparently you passed archaeology.
Apparently. That's history, though. Oh, man. Okay. This will be fun.
That's more digging.
You know, I was pretty good at digging in the sandbox as a kid, maybe, I think.
Wait,
I don't know.
You went into the right field.
All right.
Are we some sort of extras on the next Indiana Jones set? Is that the thing? Are these props? Is this
that looks like real blood to me?
Yes, it was.
Well, then we're likely not extras on a set. Besides, I don't see any cameras.
Maybe this is like a dream.
We did fall asleep.
Yeah, just Janice reaches over and pinches Margaret.
Ow! No, I already slapped myself. No, not a dream. It's not a dream.
Well, getting pinched by someone else isn't the same as pinching yourself.
I believe you were looking at the tools that you had in your yes. I'm just going to give you, I believe, I just need to give you this.
Breaking and entering. I mean archaeology.
This card is for you.
It is breaking and entering into the ground.
Professor Ross.
Oh, okay.
Janice was looking through her bags too.
Anthropology, archaeology. We're both archaeologists, so
yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know
again,
if there was the same stuff in my bag or.
Yeah, it's clearly that you are sort of sent for
right, cool.
You're out on some sort of a dig. I will note that you all have like good work gloves.
Oh, good. I'm gonna put those in my pocket as well because this handkerchief will only
right into the purse. Right into the purse. Those gloves.
Janice Harris, you do not have work gloves.
Won't go into my purse then.
Yep.
You do have gloves though.
Oh, what kind? Just fancy people gloves or like slapping gloves? Like.
Well, I mean, if you have general knowledge of 1985, you might not have seen gloves like this before. I mean, maybe you've seen they look like maybe if you've seen movies, like old movies, they look like driving gloves.
Oh, put those in my purse.
I mean, people don't wear those anymore. You know what I mean? Like, not really, but they look like driving. You've seen like an old movie or something, right? People like wear driving gloves, but you've got a pair of driving gloves in with the rest of your stuff.
I'll definitely put those in my purse. Why, Margaret? Why are you wearing gloves?
But you know, in case we don't leave fingerprints anywhere.
That's going to look suspicious when they question you.
It's the 40s. People wear gloves all the time in the 40s, right?
Work gloves?
Huh?
Gloves. Those are work gloves for digging.
Okay. Well, all right. I'll put them in my purse then, and if I need to pick up anything suspicious,
well, that way they won't expect it.
And then there's the wrap on the door of your compartment.
We didn't come up with a story.
Who is it?
Told them
it'll be hard to tell them a body disappeared.
Told them they threw the gun out the window.
The door opens.
Hi.
There's the French police.
Hi there.
Monsieur, madame, you will come with me?
Yeah, and turns and looks at the other two. Yes, I will.
All three of you, come.
Oh, all three of us. Okay. Let's go.
They walk all three of you down through multiple cars until you get to the dining car. And there are like 4 or 5 other police officers. And sitting at one of the main tables, there's this Frenchman with a small little pencil-thin mustache, uniform. His hair's all slicked back. And they walk you pretty quickly down to this car. And it's still moving, of course, and people are still watching as whoever's being brought into interrogation are being moved through. And there's this sort of interrogation post. And he steps up and he goes, Bonjour, I am Coutreau. Let me see your papers.
Sure.
Shuffles around and pulls them out.
Doctor, looks at all of your passports, your visas. Says, American. Of course. How interesting. I am, it's such a pleasure for someone such as I, who is but a humble, underpaid French official, to make acquaintance of someone from such a country that is so rich as yours is.
Oh, we're just humbled by the beauty of your country. I mean, this train ride's very scenic.
It's such a pleasure to meet you, and would just do the.
He comes in, kisses your hand, but you can tell he's got some feelings about the United States right now in 1941.
Yes.
What? If we can ask, what have you found out? What happened?
I am the one asking the questions. So,
of course.
First off, did you hear the shots in the next compartment?
Yes.
Yes.
How many?
7.
You agree with this, Doctor?
Yes, I gave all of my deposition earlier to some of your agents. Are they with them? Like the security that came from earlier?
Oh, they're security, but not the same ones. They're probably still actually holding the hallways.
Oh,
Probably.
okay.
I've heard the report. I would like to know, what exactly did you do when you heard the shots? Presumably you were in your apartment, is that true?
I screamed and hit the floor because that's what they taught me to do if there was ever gunshots in the school, is to just get on the floor.
Why would there be gunshots in the school?
Because it's America.
It's very dangerous. Yes. So you've seen cowboy movies, haven't you? It's kind of like that.
Yeah, I'm from the Midwest. There's all sorts of rootin' tootin'.
Tumbleweeds everywhere.
Yep.
I've seen many of these films. So,
well, then you know.
You two ladies screamed.
I did push up against the wall a little bit because I didn't know where anything was coming.
Straight on the floor.
I didn't hit the floor though. That was good thinking.
Yeah, try next time.
Doctor,
that way, if there's any stray bullets, they don't hit you.
Yes, if it's not something that you do here, that might be something you might think about.
I reached out to my doctor's bag. I mean, if you hear gunshots, then it means they're wounded. It's just muscle memory kicked in.
Did you look out into the corridor as the shots were happening?
Oh, as
the shots? No. It happened while we were, I think, in a tunnel. So it was very dark.
Very dark.
We didn't see anything.
Did you see anyone? Doctor, say nothing. Did you see anyone in the corridor?
No. When the shots happened, it was dark. I screamed, and then I was kind of pushed up against the side of that.
You did not see anyone?
When the shots happened, no.
No, but after, I'll just look to both of them, to Margaret and Janice, before I continue.
But we didn't see the shots happen. You asked if we saw the shots happen.
After the shots
happened,
we looked out,
and then we were out of the tunnel. That's when we saw someone.
He was a real Weasley-looking guy.
Yes, the report from the doctor, the deposition, said that you saw a Weasley-looking man in a white suit.
After the shots happened. Yeah. After we were out in the light again.
I wasn't gonna move until we were out of the dark. And the shots stopped. Because that's dangerous.
Well, you never know. Anybody could be shooting anywhere, it turns to Margaret.
Exactly.
What did you do before the officers arrived on the scene? Great detail, please.
Oh, I freaked out a lot.
Well,
it was a very upsetting scene. I almost fainted. So I, grabbed my suitcase because I was determined to get off at the next stop. But I think, you guys seem to have the situation well under control. So I think I can ride it out to the next destination.
Well, I looked into the hallway. I did. I looked out to see if I could see what happens. And try and, see where the Weasel Man went so I could help you guys out if I needed to. But when I looked out, well, when I looked out, I didn't really see too much. Everybody else was looking out of their own rooms.
Doctor, you said you saw him throw a gun out of the window?
The man in the white shirt and black tie, he came in, said something about having a present for us or something like that. To that extent, I thought he was going to shoot us, and then he just threw his pistol out the window and then ran out.
Is that what that was? I had would turn back to the main guy. I had my eyes closed after I screamed and we were in the dark. I was pushed up against the side. I wasn't on the floor because I was just next to the wall already. But I screamed and I was pushed up next to the side and I had my eyes shut, just glued shut, because I was so afraid.
I'm sorry.
Would have crawled into the seat if I could have.
You said this man came into your car. You did not mention this earlier. Why is that?
I mentioned it in my deposition.
You mentioned he threw a gun out the window. You did not say he came into your car.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
my bad. Yes, he opened the door to the car. That one, and I point to the door. He came through. Mm-hmm. That one right there. He did not walk too much into the compartment. I was fairly certain I was crouched down right over there.
So this man, he came into your car and he threw out the gun after he murdered these German officers.
Those were
it would have had
officers?
to have been. It would have had to have been because it was after the shots. The shots happened and we went in a tunnel and it was really dark. And then after it went out to the light, that's when we saw him.
Well, we will look into this weasel-faced man of yours. If you will stand, please. We're going to search you. Before we search you, let me ask, is there anything we should know?
Well,
And you might as well be honest. Are you armed? Or perhaps you have weapons in your suitcases?
Yeah, I was going to ask. When the other groups got interrogated, I'm guessing other soldiers went in and searched the car.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Absolutely, they did. Which means your car's being searched right now as you are speaking to them.
That's another reason I wanted to look through my suitcase first, just to make sure there was nothing super sus in there.
Well, I have a gun in my purse, but
I do too. It's for self-defense.
It's dangerous out there for ladies.
Just a little pocket pistol.
But it's not been shot. You can check. You can look yourself.
Yep. Yes, I too am carrying. I have a license. I have my permit.
I do as well.
I would like to see your permits.
Yes.
Yep.
And then hands it over.
Handing the permit, not the gun.
He looks at the permit and says, like, all right, and he nods to one of his fellow officers. They come over. He says, we will confiscate your weapons. You cannot have them on this train.
And immediately just like hands it over.
Multiple people just got shot. I mean, I don't feel very comfortable handing my pistol over.
I'm sure that I'm sure they're going to keep us safe, right? You're going to keep us safe, right?
And they'll be returned to us when we get to our destination, right?
Right.
That is correct. When you arrive in Casablanca, you may go to the prefect of the police and you may retrieve these weapons. And he takes the ladies' guns and he looks at you, Doctor, expectantly.
Yeah, I'll take my pistol out, hand it over.
Good cowboy. And he just takes the pistol from you and he sort of looks and he notices that he's like, I see. She's checking their caliber. Now, did anything else mysterious happen? Strange that we should know about?
That I can think of. I had my eyes closed for quite some time.
I was having a panic attack.
Doctor?
Well, it might be nothing. It's just shortly before the gunshots, we all fell asleep. A snooze, really. I didn't think much of it at the time, but
well, you know, they say jet lag will do that.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
But could it be that there was some sort of gas situation?
Gas?
I was real drowsy.
Well,
I didn't even remember falling asleep.
I will look into this.
Yeah, we were having a lovely conversation about
Archaeology.
Yeah.
The dig.
And
you are coming into Morocco for archaeology, it seems.
Oh, I love history. Yep.
I certainly hope you're not planning to take anything out of our country inappropriately.
Oh, of course not.
Would never.
Just discover and learn. We're not
Right.
England, please.
Good thing, although you are the second closest. All right, Americans. We're going to take you back to your compartment. You are not allowed to leave your compartment until we get to Casablanca. But since you are not currently a suspect in the murder, we will not lock you in.
Thanks.
That's good in case we need to use the bathroom.
Yeah, I actually do need to use the loo. Can I hit that on the way back?
We,
Oh, thank you.
Dr. Bright, we may come back to speak to you about the bodies.
I'll be excited.
Any sort of
yes.
gestures for two of his sort of police, and they sort of just come towards you all.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I'll get escorted to the loo so I can know where that is.
Mhm.
I do actually. I do need to. Thank you.
Yeah, you know.
He clearly is suspicious of you, all three of you,
Oh
but
yeah.
he doesn't have anything
Nothing.
to pin on you. And he
Nope.
did not, like, for example, find a murder weapon on your person. So,
Nope. Or in our cabin, because I yeeted that sucker out the window.
Yep. Good thinking.
might have been different if he had. But
Look,
he
we don't keep the smoking gun. That's just look. I
That's
feel like
crime
I've watched a lot of
101.
1980s true crime documentaries, which were real weird and didn't have a lot of narration. Anyways, or subtitles.
when you are escorted back to your compartment, the blood is still on the compartment next to yours, right? The bodies are covered. Those bodies have not disappeared in any way.
Just look like, whew.
And they escort you into your car with that kind of slightly menacing feeling of the police. And
Do I get escorted to the loo as well before?
First, but they all wait, right, to sort of bring. They don't want to separate your group.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I thoroughly examine that loo and quickly use it, and then it's like I have multiple layers now. So I'm like, okay, this is
And they wait. Like, it's a little bit frustrating for them to wait for you, but they do.
I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I just all that excitement, I really had to go. It's very starting a weak bladder.
They do bring you to your compartment, and then they shut the door, and you can hear sort of like the police officer sort of walk about. You don't know how long they're going to be there.
Are they
but you
talking to each
three-
other? Do I understand French when they speak to each other? That's because I don't know. Do I?
You don't know. That's a very good question. You do understand French. Your French is clearly
wow.
not great.
No, but
I don't
can,
know
like,
if you
order at a
understood French
restaurant.
before,
okay.
but you did understand French before. You are, after all, an archaeologist. Both of you two are archaeologists, which means having PhDs, you both understand French and German. And our doctor
Jawohl, genau.
knows French, German, and also Latin.
Oh, nice.
Good classical training, and that is knowledge that you have. But you are...
Holy shit, I speak French.
You're in this train car by yourselves, all three of you.
Oh,
And there are
with the spoon. That was like the worst interrogation ever.
three, your luggage is there. The 3 sets of luggage. There had been at one point in time 4 sets of luggage, but there are only 3.
Yeah.
When that body disappeared, so did his luggage, by the way.
I'm sure.
I haven't gone through my luggage though. Have the
You
cops
haven't.
been through my luggage?
Yes, they have.
They have. Yes, they have.
I'm going to go and look into my suitcase just to see. I figure I won't remember if anything's missing, but what do I have?
So here's the thing. When you go through your luggage, there is something that you remember something, or it's not really like a specific memory. It's more like a feeling. And I don't know what this means to you, but you know that your luggage had been impeccably packed, that all of the clothes were folded very neatly, perfectly, with great, and everything had been pressed, and you can still see tissue paper that separated all of your shirts. I don't know what you normally do. I don't know if you know what you normally do, but this suitcase had been done really, really anal retentively, basically. And it is all messed up. It's just sort of tossed. The shirts are no longer pressed and perfectly fit.
Our suitcases, Fox.
Yes,
and we're just wow, these women are sloppy because we just rifled through ours before. They're like, wow, these archaeologist ladies are a wreck.
I think I'm going to have a little heart palpitations at the sight of my suitcase not being as neatly packed as it was before.
How closely do you?
It's fine.
How closely do you look through your suitcase, by the way?
Oh, I don't know why, but I get the feeling that I need to put everything back as it were, like as it was. When I packed it, or when I think I packed it.
When you do that, you're being very careful, very conscientious. And as you do, you notice something about your luggage. You notice that there's a little bit of a gap that one of the sides is a little bit thicker than the other, leading you to think that there's probably some kind of inner compartment in there.
This is I'm going to feel around to see if I can find an opening for it.
Which you can. There is a box of ammunition. But not for your gun. Your pistol.
Wait, what?
There are there are multiple boxes, the entire inside line of if you got your luggage, there's the long ends and the short ends. The long end that's closer to where the hinge would be, so it's a little bit more obscured. That entire thing is lined with boxes of rifle ammunition, military grade rifle ammunition.
They obviously didn't find that. I'm just gonna
what kind of a doctor are you?
Oh, and I'm gonna check my suitcase to see if I have a secret panel too in mine.
I don't think I'm a doctor.
Well,
what do you
check those bodies?
Assassin who's undercover, but you knew they were bullet wounds. Would you know a knife wound or a broken ankle, or is it just gun wounds?
Do you know?
You would definitely know knife wounds.
How would you know how? Would you know how to stab everyone in the train if you were locked in a room with them?
If someone had a heart attack, what would you do?
High blood pressure.
Wait. Okay. And I'm going to try. I'm going to answer Janice first. How I would murder everyone one by one.
You think about it?
Yeah. I'm gonna think about it. I don't think the answer is unless suddenly I remember exactly how to, go on a murder spree on a train. But I'll give an example of
I can see it.
When the cops came to interrogate us. I would have drawn my pistol and then shot at the first one there, and then
we all undercover?
Oh wait, I got a card. I got a card, everyone.
Say it out loud.
It's pretty.
You probably would do sniping, is what you would imagine. If you were going to kill a lot of people, you'd probably bring out a sniper rifle, actually. It's probably what you would do.
I think I'm going to point like the place where you can hunker down the best, like that has the best cover versus like a bracing point to lie a rifle on. And then, you know, cover the entrance there. And then with the with my sidearm, I would.
Yeah.
And the moment he calls the pistol a sidearm, he just goes.
Yeah.
You're not a doctor.
Okay, what would you do with a heart attack if I just had a heart attack right now?
High blood pressure.
I would apply pressure. Beats music. I need to follow the.
Okay.
It's
So you
staying alive. It's staying alive.
It's staying alive. Yes. The disco song.
Okay, so you know medicine and murder. Oh my gosh.
You're a killer doctor.
I'm glad you're on our side.
Am I a military doctor? Is that
you could be.
Are we?
Well, you're old enough to like, wasn't it? They weren't calling it World War I yet, because I don't think.
Well, we are in the middle of a war.
The Great.
We just got out of Vichy France, or we did. Well, no, according to our passport, we're still in World War II.
Oh my gosh! You points at Margaret.
Me?
You're not really an archaeologist. Do you have?
I don't know. I seem to know something about archaeology. I can know how to use these tools.
You remember, like you remember all these things about archaeology, things that you don't ever remember studying, but you do remember them.
Okay.
What about you?
How would you kill people in a room?
I would.
Like when they came to get us, what would you do?
Oh, I hit the deck first of all. Maybe it hit the Achilles heel, because you know Achilles, he was a figure in ancient. Oh no.
No.
Okay. How would I flip card? I could use my handgun. I'd go pop, pop, pop.
Please note.
I would flip them.
Please note, it doesn't just say that you know how to shoot a gun. You're a skilled marksman when using a handgun of
any type.
What about me? Somebody asked me what I would do.
Janice,
would you stab somebody? How are you? Hand-to-hand, yeah. How would you go about it? Hand-to-hand combat, gun, garrote.
Watch Janice be the one person who's just like some schmo off.
No.
I don't know what I do.
You're the one who's our cover. Like, the only real.
Just people's elbow.
I'm going to tell you two things. One, you can't, when you sort of rack your mind about like guns or knives, you can't.
You did have a gun.
Nothing comes to your mind. You have a gun, but nothing comes to your mind. But also, what does not also come to your mind is that when Professor Ross started like rattling off some archaeological things, nothing comes to your mind about that either.
Oh no!
I don't know.
You're not even an archaeologist?
Your papers say you are.
But my papers say I am. So
he's a Dr. Sniper. I'm an archaeologist. Like, is Laura Croft around yet? I don't think she is.
No, not yet.
Not yet. I'm like Indiana Jones, apparently, because I got a handgun and do archaeology.
You're an archaeological Luke Skywalker.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'd have to have a sword for that, I think.
Well, you don't know if you don't have a sword. Han Solo.
Or Indiana Jones. Who? He is Indiana Jones. My God. Okay.
Wait, who am I?
Who are you? What are you good at? Do you bake?
Okay. Can you bake something?
Was there nothing in your suitcase? Here, let's check this.
There were these gloves. Pulls out the gloves.
Okay, you got fancy lady gives. Do you like schmooze? Are you like a high society lady?
Thinking about shoes. Thinking about driving.
Okay, dancing. Do you know how to do like the waltz or the tango? Like any high society like events type things? Swing dancing?
Can I ask you what you're thinking about with driving?
Hold out the driving gloves and just think about like, okay, if we were being chased by, if instead of being on a train, if we were driving and being chased by the fuzz, then I would.
You would. What exactly? I mean, look, it's the 1940s. I can't imagine you would do anything interesting or strange, as you know. But what would you do if you're being chased at high speeds?
I might do a stunt or two.
What? You're a stunt driver?
You know what? I think I'd probably, all right, if I were driving and we were being chased by these guys, I might go over onto the sidewalk, just to, throw up some distractions behind us, and maybe I could look around and see if there's anything for us to bounce off of.
A ramp.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Stunt driver.
Take the ramp.
Get a little air.
What about flying?
Oh, can you fly? Oh, what would you do if you were in a plane or a helicopter?
Doesn't
look
ping.
for a ramp?
By the way, the click-clacking of the train is very, very warm and comforting.
Oh no, I'm getting kind of sleepy.
I need you to make a roll.
Uh-oh.
Everybody here needs to make a roll. You have a 40% chance. It's a standard roll. I need percentiles from each of you.
Wait. Trooper?
Who?
Why do I have stunt driving?
You don't. That's
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's just we all see our cards
girl,
because they're on
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
they're on
You're
the
the
map.
left-hand
Yeah,
row.
of
I'm the
course.
right-hand row, and Rocket's
I'm
in
in
the
the middle.
My bad. I was zoomed in too much.
Super. There you go.
Yeah. 35.
Oh, I don't make it.
Dr. Ross,
Hi.
you were in the middle of this conversation.
I was.
Right? Do you remember when your good friend Paul was like, right in the middle of the conversation, we just fell asleep? You are having a really hard time staying awake. You just find yourself so drowsy.
Oh no.
And you
I'm
just
so tired.
start.
I'm gonna put these gloves on and hug my purse and go to bed.
Wait, what are you doing?
And Dr. Harris and Professor Harris and Dr. Bright, you both also start feeling very drowsy. Very drowsy.
Is my doctor bag nearby?
Yes.
I probably have how do you call them? It's like ammonia ampoules.
Oh, like the
smelling salts.
Smelling salts.
Yep.
Do I have smelling salts?
Absolutely. You're a doctor. Absolutely.
I'm going to crack open a cold smelling salt under everyone's fucking nose. Mine first. And then, to make sure I don't fall asleep while trying to help someone else.
You have to help put your own oxygen mask on before putting on the person's next to you.
Professor Harris, as this is happening, and you notice something in the corner of your eyes. As you're feeling so drowsy, and the smelling salts is coming out, you just notice something. It's fine black sand is swirling about the compartment and shimmering lightly. It's very fine, and you might not even notice it. And if you had fallen asleep immediately, you certainly would not have noticed it. And as the doctor's rushing to sort of give you all smelling salts so that you can stay awake, you just notice that there's like some sand. You don't know where it came from. And the sand on the outside of the train is not a fine black sand. It's like that sort of the regular sand color. But there it is, just moving. And there's not that much air in this compartment to sort of move this sand around. And our Dr. Ross, you have smelling salts under your nose, and you are being like, whoa, huh.
Okay. Oh, I think I dozed off there for a second. Oh, wow.
Is anybody else seeing this?
Fuck. Hell.
And?
Black sand. I'm an archaeologist. I'm gonna try to sample.
That's when there's a very large crash. Something has shattered the window outside the window of your train car. The entire window is just like
it's come back.
Shatters into shards of glass. Like somebody might have thrown a rock or something through it. It's like something like fairly like, and it's not
handgun. It's back.
More of a moment. And I will say this, that you're going to be able to respond better because you're not drowsy, as it turns out.
Oh.
But moments after the glass shatters, feet come swinging through from the top of the train car and sort of sliding into the car. It's like just like swinging into the car is a figure.
Can I do a thing?
Well, let me tell you what you see first, and then you can do it.
Sure. Well, I want to do always swinging in.
A man in traditional Arab garb, but sort of like more like a Bedouin, but with his face sort of covered as if perhaps he were like riding in the desert. So you can't really tell much about who this person is or what they're about. They are carrying a knife, though, a very wicked, long knife, and they sort of come crashing through this window, feet first. Through,
Can I grab the feet and help
landing
him
just
in?
like. Oh no, it's like an immediate, like he just lands right there.
Oh, I was hoping we weren't drowsy enough to be able to do something about it.
Oh yeah, no, that's like a.
Because if he was swinging in, he'd be like, "Come on, momentum." We could just whoop, and he'd be on his back, and it'd be beautiful.
He wasn't doing a big swing. He just like whoosh, comes in and lands. Okay. And he has this.
I'm so glad I'm wearing 2 layers of clothing.
Very large knife, and he has this murderous look in his eyes.
We're not in a car.
It is a murderous look that is something out of like a movie. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like this is like prime villainy.
I'm Indiana Jones. I figured it out.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull out my wounds roster, which is a thing we have in this game. And normally he would get to attack first, but you all have had smelling salts, so that is not the case.
It's just like Raiders of the Lost Ark.
One of you all to roll a d10 for your side.
Maybe that shouldn't be me. Although I guess it's not based on
one of y'all.
Oh
yeah. Go ahead.
Oh no.
Good, we are.
And I will roll a d10. I roll a 5.
Okay.
Feel unlucky.
Sure. Why the fuck not?
You can do it.
I'll try. I rolled a high on the D100s. No.
Nope. So.
Oh goodness.
This person who crashes in and is there has this big huge knife, and this figure, saying nothing, slashes out with his knife at sort of the older, more dangerous-looking doctor. I'm gonna roll my.
Do I look dangerous?
Well, you are. You're a guy and 2 ladies in the 1940s.
Yeah, that is the case.
And you have a suitcase full of ammunition.
Yeah, he doesn't know that.
Roll an 84.
Oh, jeez.
But I need to get. Yeah, I need to get under a 60. So this fellow comes and he sort of moves at you, Dr. Bright, with an alarming speed. Could you tell me how you're able to avoid this nasty knife attack?
I still have the smelling salt in my hand, right?
You do.
Passing it along. So I think as he goes to stab me with the knife, I just like throw the content in his face.
Ah!
And that little, that like jerk reaction
sting.
is enough that
that's gonna be on there a minute.
Get fucking ammonia in your eyes.
And he knows, like, he's gonna be coughing and
In which case, it is y'all's turn. It is your go. You get to decide how you want to do this, in which order you want to do it. But I imagine you've got an ammonia attack, is what it sounds like.
Do it. Ammonia attack him first. I have an idea.
Could you roll your percentile die? But you do not seem to have any sort of hand-to-hand skills, so you need to get a 40.
Wait, me?
Because you're going with your ammonia attack.
Oh, I thought that was just a description as to why you missed me.
Yeah, but now I'm going to follow through with it, unless you want to do a different attack.
Okay.
No, attack him.
Because that was cool.
All right.
We don't have our guns.
They were
You
confiscated.
said I have to roll under a 40?
That is correct.
Hey, it's better than most Call of Cthulhu odds. Huh?
I'm at 41.
Oh,
41.
oh.
So you throw this ammonia at him, right? And he sort of like flinches out of the way to try to like avoid it. He's able to avoid it, but he also cannot hit you. Which of the rest of you two would like to go?
Would you like to go first, Rockhead, or shall I? 'Cause I have an idea.
No, I think Janice would be like, since learning this thing about driving is just kind of standing back like, we're not in a car, I'm not driving, I don't know what to do.
What would you like
We'll
to do?
do
There's
something.
a guy with a
And
knife.
then you said this glass shattered all up in our cabin. I literally said I put on my work gloves. So what I'm going to do, I may not have knife fight skills, but I don't have a handgun. So I'm going to grab a nice big sharp shard of glass, because I'm wearing protection on my hands, and I'm going to
Yes,
try
you are.
to dab him back.
Please roll. You need under 40 because you do not have the knife skill, although that skill does exist out there in the world.
Oh, yeah,
Oh!
baby.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
if it's
my-
degrees of success, like you said, that's a good hit.
Yes. So you have a margin success of 35.
I do.
Yes, we have
I may
a
not
chart.
have the knife skill, but let me tell
However-
you what, it's me.
This is what you use.
I'm gonna shake a bitch with
for-
a piece of glass.
Didn't
Yes,
say you
yes
don't have the
indeed.
broken glass skills.
Oh, that's
Ah.
I don't have knife skill. I have broken glass shiv. I have the shiv skill. But you didn't know this,
Ah.
Trooper, but
Yes.
I was in prison apparently. I had to make glass shivs.
Yeah, so that is an
And I go
H.
for his knife arm, so that way he maybe drops his.
so you stab at him.
I do.
And how big of a shard of glass is this?
I grabbed a nice big, wicked sharp looking one. I imagine there's not like a huge piece because I imagine it's not safety glass, which actually shatters smaller. So I imagine it's like a nice, probably about the same size as his knife. Well, I've only got gloves, so maybe a little narrower. No, I'm thinking about how glass breaks. Sorry, this is the nerd in me. It's wider than his knife, but it's been shorter. It's like a squat, like almost triangle, because you don't stab, you slice with glass. So.
You the shard
Nice
of
crunchy
glass.
piece. Yeah.
What part of his body?
I went for the arm that's holding the knife, so he'll stop attacking us.
The glass slides off. You don't get good purchase on his arm at all.
Oh.
No, you don't. But you do get purchase deep in his gut as this huge shard of glass.
Slips off his sleeve and goes
No.
right to his gut. I'm like, oh.
And it
It's a
goes
big
deep,
triangle, so yeah, shoot. I'm like,
deep
and I just
into his guts.
let go of that piece of glass and just leave it there. I'm just like, oh. I think that worked.
Rocket.
I think at that,
It's and there's blood everywhere at this point in time, by the way. She was really good at that. It's just stabbing
I'll pull it
somebody.
out, actually, it'll bleed more
Right.
that way, and he'll faint sooner.
and just will like go forward and like while this is all happening,
That works.
try and grab the
push
knife
him.
out of his hand.
Oh, just grab the knife. Yeah. Disarm
roll
him.
He's distracted by the
He's
guts he
very
has.
distracted now.
Bleeding everywhere.
I give him. Do I give him sepsis? Can I make a sepsis roll?
You probably give him sepsis. Actually, it's probably what happens.
Hey!
But
Oh,
it's
Rub some
It's-
rusty metal in it.
there are wounds in this game. Just so you know, in case you're interested, there are different levels of wounds you can get. There are scratches, there are light wounds, there are medium wounds, heavy wounds, and critical wounds, and each person can have 2 of each. That was a very heavy wound that he got.
Not quite critical, but bad.
The glass is
Real
still
bad.
there to this day.
Yeah, and
I'm
it's
sure
not
some broke
good.
off in him. It's fine.
to
A
get-
little
Would
glass
you
Yeah.
like to
strip.
roll anything to grab his knife?
Yes, please. You want under 40%.
Okay. That's a 3. I didn't just
You
grab
have
his
a
knife.
knife
I
now.
grabbed his.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that
You came into the wrong train
Yeah.
car, buddy. We're cowboys.
yeah.
Without guns.
Yeah.
Take him.
So
Twist the arm around.
you
Flip
don't
Flip him.
since you don't have a weapon on you, this is not going to be a heavy wound. It's a light wound, but it is not. But a light wound is actually still.
You took a self-defense class once.
It's still pretty heavy, actually, right? Like a light wound is not like, oh, it's like a good solid shot. It's like a good deal of pain is involved. So I want to know how you leverage
I
a
have an
whole
answer for
lot of
you.
pain to get that knife from him. Please tell me.
So after our Margaret has stabbed him, left the glass in there, and initially
Mhm.
Jan's like, and then look around, and then kind of thinking back to when they're like, do you dance, and gonna do like a kind of hip check into where the
Yep.
into the gut where the glass is, and then just
Oh!
and then turn and grab the knife and like kind of wrench it away.
You're quite dexterous. You don't know if it is high society or not, but there's something there. Like there's a certain sort of
Oh, parkour.
there's something you've got going on. You don't think it's that, but like when you're just like, do you know how to dance? You're like, I don't think of like a fancy like high class person, but there's something in there that you're like, there's something there.
If I
And,
if I do that, would I have any memories of like flipping someone, like knowing
No.
about flipping somebody? Okay.
Mm-mm.
About second story
But-
work.
No, but it's about like you have a sense like, oh, this is a very expensive knife, right? Like you're sort of like make that connection to like dancing. You're like, oh, that's a very expensive knife. You sort of get a sense of that this is very
Appraisal.
well crafted, very expensive, probably worth quite a lot of money, and you sort of like knock him sort of one way or the next. It is his turn. We're in the next
He doesn't
round.
have a knife anymore.
He does not have a knife
But
anymore.
he's been stabbed.
And he
I have
has
now.
been stabbed. And I'm going to tell you what he does.
Okay.
He immediately, because he's in grave danger right now, this is not good for him. He immediately starts to scramble out to sort of like jump out of this window and try to clamber back up to the top, which is what he is going to do on his turn because he's in danger of being murdered by you all. And right,
He's in danger
and
of bleeding out at this point, honestly.
Yeah.
he is in danger of
Getting
bleeding out.
outside the window's not going to help him with that.
And he like clambers out, and there's a moment when you think he's going to fall, slip and fall under the train tracks, but he's
Oh, that'd
able
been
to make it
delicious.
up and out of the train car. It's your go.
Is he going for the roof of the train? The train
Yes,
car?
he is. Yes, he is.
God damn. Well, yeah, none of us have.
Are we going after him?
Should we have
Whoa.
the police?
We'd have to. He
How am I
probably
gonna
knows.
explain this?
By the way, we're still in combat time.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
just so you know.
Okay. Oh no, I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
We have a knife
it-
now, though. Hide it.
Is it possible, even in combat time, to see like, do we hear footsteps coming?
Ooh.
Is that what you like to do on your turn?
Yes.
Yes.
I
You
wanna know
all
if
three get to go first.
I
which-
should hide the knife on mine though.
Uh-huh.
Is likely
Okay.
what. Or
You
I mean,
hide the
also, also they
I'll-
came in and checked us and the room and saw the knife wasn't here. So if we still
That's
have
fair.
it, it's like the window is open. You saw we did not have this knife. Like
That is
Mhm.
true.
that somebody like came in
Come
after
in and
us.
tried to attack us. There's a lot of blood on the
Mhm.
floor, probably from him too, from stabbing.
Right, like clearly it's not from us. Like
Which
So it-
way? Oh, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say so that might be a reason not to hide the knife. They can. I mean, they can
That's
check
true.
everything.
This is not as much of a smoking gun situation.
And it was after us. We had to
Yeah.
defend ourselves.
Because the glass is definitely broken inward. All right.
Yeah.
Anyways, yes. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do?
Which way is he going? Like when he climbs up, do I have
Mhm.
like do we
Oh, is
see
he,
sort
like-
of like which way of the
Yeah, it's the shadow of the
Towards
sun, at the angle where we can see him on top of the train, which way he's going.
Because my intention is to take off in that same direction inside the wagons, because I'm not gonna climb up. But then when you if it's an old train, like I'm thinking in like pulp stories, there you have like a section that's outside as you cross from one.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So I would like to cut him off there, and maybe as he's jumping, trying to grab his ankle or something.
Ooh, yeah.
My question is, do you want to do this by going out the window? Which is dangerous.
No. Like I said, I'm
On the
sticking to
inside.
inside.
Okay, so you're going to assess this round. You sort of listen, right? Pay attention to where the footsteps are going, and you can hear the footsteps up top start heading down this way, away from where the police are coming. But as you listen, they start to like dissipate.
Oh no! Don't tell me he's gonna disappear too.
It's like thump, 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 thump. But it's not like they're becoming harder to hear because they're farther away. It's like they're beginning to dissipate.
Dissolving.
The sand is still in the cart, by the way.
Oh, the black sand?
Yes, and you all have one turn still. What the rest of you two do?
Grab some.
Okay.
Grab some.
I'm gonna do what I said I was gonna do, and I'm gonna get a vial of this sand. I'm an archaeologist. Scoop.
And Professor Harris, what do you do in your turn?
Because if he's gone, there's no perpetrator. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's still
But
blood, and they still checked us.
We could say he left with the knife. Then we'd have a
Dr.
knife.
Harris, what do you do? You have 5 seconds.
This is an expensive knife. And gonna because real quick question, we would have seen the doctor find.
Is the blood dissolving?
Secret.
Yes, you all saw all of that. Absolutely.
Okay. So then would kind of reach over and put the knife in, like try and wedge it in with the hidden ammunition.
Okay. To end turn 2, as you're beginning to stow it, the door to your cart opens. And a man steps in. This man is in a business suit. Pressed, perfect, pinstriped, black, hat with like a fedora that's a deep fedora, so there's a shadow across his face. And he stands in the shadows of the corridor, so you can't really quite see him very well. But you do notice 2 things about him. One, in his left hand, he's carrying Paul's briefcase, the leather briefcase of Paul. And in his right hand, he's carrying a pistol.
Oh no, get the knife back.
And he fires.
Oh no.
That's what he does on his turn. First shot. Person who stabbed the person who came in earlier.
Oh,
99
me.
even.
Hey! He misses.
Second, the person who stole the knife. Which, how would you know about those things?
Oh
7.
no. It's not good.
Shots blare out right in the middle of this train car. That, by the way, is a very high degree of success. You might want to be concerned about that.
We figured that out.
Yeah. That's by 53.
Oh no.
Oh jeez.
It's as good as me.
Let's talk first about how this person misses Professor Ross. Tell me about that.
Well, I'm a handgun marksman expert, so I can see where he's pointing the gun, and I just move to fuck up his shot with a perspective. I hit the deck. That's what I do. That's what I'm trained to do. The gun's pointed at me. I hit the deck. He's not expecting that. Apparently, it's not common. So
I
I'm
always
just,
knew. She's been saying it the whole time.
I hit the deck and I don't get shot, and I spring back up.
Dr. Harris. He shoots you.
Imagine like
And
hand
you-
on there and like pull the hand away and there's blood on it.
There's a lot of blood. And it doesn't even feel like anything at first, you know what I mean? Like you're just like you got punched maybe. But it is hard to breathe. It maybe hit something really bad. and you feel like
Please be the
this
doctor.
burning sensation as you get hit by one shot somewhere in your torso, somewhere really not okay. It is your turn. And I'm going to note that this person says nothing, and you can barely make out their features, almost as if, because they're in shadows, you know.
Okay.
Get the bag, and then
I'm going to go directly for for Janice.
Okay. So Trooper,
Yeah.
this game,
Yes.
we have skills.
Yes, you do.
I've seen this thing in movies. This seems very movie-esque.
Yes, it does.
When someone's holding a handgun, you can point it at you can point it towards themselves and shoot. I have the handgun skill. Would that count as that maneuver? Because I'm a skilled marksman with a handgun of any type, including those in other people's hands, I would argue.
That does make sense. However, I would say this would be at the reduced chance of 40 rather than at 60, because you have to grapple with this person, and you're going to have to get into the corridor to do so.
So you're saying I don't have level 2 handgun? I just have level 1 handgun?
You do not have level
you
2
can still try
handgun.
to roll good before.
Well, it says chance to hit your target. You can fire, you can fire 2 shots per round at 1. Right? 3 at... Yes, you're at level 1, so you can do 2 shots a round.
Okay.
Absolutely. But you'd be at the lower shot, because you're grappling with him.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna turn the gun towards him and try to
charge
shoot
him. You just charge this figure.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
What else am I gonna do? I'm not a doctor. I can't help her bleeding. I'm not jumping out the window of a moving train, Trooper.
Roll twice.
I will roll twice. And I'm gonna, again, it'd be nice if he dropped what he was holding. So, since it's in his opposite hand, towards that side, maybe he'll drop the suitcase. That'd be nice. That's good. Nope. Not at the reduced chance, but I do hit him once. Maybe he'll drop that briefcase because I was aiming for that.
You do hit him once. That's interesting. With a pistol. That's fascinating.
I do with a handgun.
That's fascinating. I do find that interesting.
Those aren't words I like for this.
With his own pistol in his own hand. Yes.
Could you roll a d10 for me?
I would love to. Maybe not roll as terribly.
Just a d10.
Not a d100, a d10.
It'll be important what it is that you find.
A 1.
A 1?
It's either really good or really bad. That's how that goes.
That is correct. It is either really good or really bad. You turn this, this figure is grappling this gun on you.
I do.
And I'm going to tell you something. This figure has got very strange amounts of strength.
Okay.
Very strange amounts of strength.
Like he's just super weak. That's great, Trooper. Thank you for letting me know.
And you are very close to him. You have to get very close to this figure to be able to grapple with him. And you're having a hard time seeing his features. Even though you are only inches from his face.
Okay. I could give him a little peck if I wanted to.
You could, you're that close, but yet it's still hard to see his features. You get a sense that he's like maybe a European man. That's like the vague sense that you get.
I will kiss him on the cheek. Can I kiss him on the cheek as a free action? Because I'm right there. I just like, pow.
Yes.
Because I'm wearing lipstick and it's the 40s. This is not transfer proof. So if someone's walking around with a big red lipstick in my color, I'll know.
You grapple with this gun
also,
and you're able to
just a weird insult.
Twist and point it. If you did not have this skill, you'd have to roll at a 20, by the way.
Oh, I'm so glad I do.
And as you twist this gun towards him, it goes off.
Yeah.
Probably around his heart, you think.
Oh,
like
cool.
you got a good one.
Yeah.
He doesn't even flinch.
That's when I peck him on the cheek. Maybe that'll make him
and
flinch.
blood starts oozing in a torrent out of his body. He drops the briefcase.
Cool. Can I kick it to the rest of the party?
Doesn't register pain in a way that you understand. But
that's cool.
He is there. Can I get a medicine check from you, dear doctor?
Yes.
Kick that briefcase over to the other two in the room.
Do I have? It's under a 60, correct?
That is correct. That is correct.
Fail. Oh, come on.
Oh my gosh, you keep rolling one above.
That was really
gosh.
helpful. Thank you.
You work, right, to sort of like on this. And the thing is, you need, this is a very bad wound, and you need better medical equipment than you have, right? What you have is going to be good for like a decent first aid, and you can patch, but like, she needs a hospital, is what she needs. She needs a hospital.
We need an actual hospital.
We don't have.
You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay.
You're saying
Harris,
two different things.
Oh, is that to shoot me?
Yes.
Yeah, I figured it was.
Yes, it is.
But we are a
however,
little grapply, so maybe it's harder for him.
You are grapply. He's on the. He has the reduced. He has the reduced chance.
Good. That makes me happy because it's not 60, it's 40, which is a lesser
40.
degree of success.
Yes, it is. It is a lesser degree of success.
So glad I'm up in his face, and he's got a little lip print right there.
I'm going to give it to you, by the way. You may roll the d10 twice.
Oh, I wonder what that means. Is it like an injury chart? Is that what this is?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So one's real bad. Okay.
Yes, it is.
I figured that out.
You want it's the severity of this wound.
Okay. One. That's not good. And that's hopefully on the opposite side of the spectrum, or it's my head blows off. One of the two.
You've covered both ends, so you roll
one is like the heart. 2 is probably a lung. I don't know what 10 is. 10 is like a little graze my shoulder.
A little graze.
Finger.
Oh, is it? Oh God. Okay. I'm grazed.
10 is a little
wounded.
graze.
Oh,
yes.
Good. I'm glad I rolled a 10 on the second one.
You get hit and you get hard for the first shot just grazes across your shoulder as you're grappling with this weapon, but the second shot hits you somewhere in your torso in a way that is not good, and you know it. As a person who's actually has shot a lot of people or whatever, in the past.
Am I getting flashbacks? Like people who've been shot?
Something about that.
Yeah, cool.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah.
You are bleeding heavily. It's bad.
Yep.
It is your go. Round 3.
Well, I'm not a doctor, so it's how many bullets have we fired off so far? 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6.
5, 6. How many bullets are in a gun of this type since it's a handgun and I'm an expert?
8.
I'm going to shoot the last 2 and try to shoot the last 2 into him so he can't shoot me anymore.
Please do. Please do.
40%, right? Okay, again, I hit on the first one real good and I don't hit on the second.
Please roll that d10.
Three. That's not great for him.
It's not great for him, actually.
It's not. Since he's
really
already
not
really
great
wounded.
for him.
Since he had the 1, which is the worst one to get, and now he gets a 3, which is still below 5.
Yeah. The range, by the way, for the worst hits to get is a 1 through 3. So that's 2 critical hits.
Yeah.
Which is not good to have. You don't want to have 2 critical hits. That makes it bad for you in terms of living.
For him, I only have 1 critical hit.
I'm gonna need you to make a roll.
Me?
Yes, please.
What kind of a roll would you like me to make?
40%.
Oh.
Standard success.
For myself?
Yes, please.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, nope.
Okay, great. So, 2 critical hits kill someone. You kill him. That's it.
I do.
But you pass out from blood loss.
I expected as much.
Before you kill him, I would like you to describe for me how you do that.
Well, I did get 2 shots.
Mm-hmm.
So I shoot the first one, and it's real bad, and he's this weird, like, no pain response, and I'm just like, oh, I tried. And then I shoot the second one, and then I fall onto the briefcase that I have kicked behind me. And I just like, and I'm like, hit them.
But I want to know how you actually get him for this last shot.
Oh, well, is there an area on the chart that it says? Because I'll make it real flavorful and dramatic.
You get to make it up.
No, it's just real bad.
It's just about how bad it is.
Okay, so the first one went, you said, right next to his heart.
Yeah.
This one is just 2 inches over, right in the heart. And then the second one goes wide, and I just, again, fell back on the suitcase. Well, I tried, thinking I didn't get him, because I'm too bleary to notice that I, with my innate skills, got him on the heart.
He reaches out to try to grab the briefcase, but you kick it out of the way, and you're on it, and he can't touch it. And he tries to touch it, but he can't. And in that moment, before he can touch it because you're in the way, it's very clear to the rest of you two who are here, right, that he is clearly trying to at least get his fingers on it.
Interesting.
But he can't because you're in the way and you shot him dead.
Real bad.
And as he falls forward, he disappears right in front of your face. Good Professor Harris and Dr. Bright.
Am I still shot?
You are
shot. They left out the window because we have signs of breaking through the window. We'll just see if they came in at us with a gun instead of a knife.
I'm so
Doctor, please save me.
But here's the thing. Because the bag is not on him, it doesn't disappear.
Get it.
He does.
Get it.
He does. He dissipates into nothingness like mist.
Get it and help me.
But the bag doesn't.
What's in there?
Miss Harris, keep applying pressure. Keep applying pressure.
I'm trying.
And I'll run to Margaret and the bag. I'll try to do both things at the same time. Basically, take the bag, open it as I look at Margaret for.
You don't want it to get confiscated when the police get here. So if you just grab the stuff from the inside and shove it with your other paperwork.
Saving lives
is very important too, which is why I landed on it.
How big is that bag though? Because I've been assuming like briefcase. Okay, yeah. Briefcase. So I can't really hide the entire thing on me. I'm just gonna. First of all, is it locked?
No, it's like a nice little leather case, right? But with a little snap. Yeah, a little clip.
Okay, cool. I'll open it. Pressure, ladies, keep applying pressure, please.
What's in there?
I'm unconscious. Hold on.
Professor Harris, please roll your percentile dice. Beat 40. Get under 40.
Me? Okay. All right, here we go. Under 40. Under 9.
You do not pass out. You feel it, but you do not pass. You, through force of will, you keep yourself awake. Inside of this briefcase.
To save my life.
It's just
keep talking.
His initials, PM, are there. And inside the briefcase are a number of papers, all of which PM for Paul Museman.
Oh, Museman. I thought Newsman.
And there are a number of things in this briefcase, pieces of papers that I'm going to make available to you right now by dragging them, because that's the fast way to do it.
I mean, is there a special thing to the fix wounds? Oh boy, what the fuck?
So there are 2 maps and 2 letters in his briefcase of important, and you can now that you're out of this situation, you can do some first aid on both of them. Because you have time, right, to sort of take care of them at this moment.
So do I still need to roll though?
No, because you have time, right? You're not in.
Okay.
You're not in the time pressure. You have you're not going to be able to fix them completely, but the critical wounds that they have will be moved down from critical to heavy, which is still not great, but it is not what it was. And the train is quiet. It's sort of in this moment, as you have these pieces of paper, and for the people at home, one of them is this strange map, the map of Halaal, which has got this. There's a map on there which has the Great Cave marked, the Tower of Allah, Anfa, the Great Sea, the Berber Trails, and a small thing written in there that says, I, Halaal, sea warrior of Allah, did despoil the vessels of the infidel Christians, taking much precious treasure. With my crew of 40 men, I did hide this treasure in the great cave of Anfa. There shall you find your fortune, my son. And this map itself is quite old. It feels different from the other papers, which are regular sorts of letters or maps. This feels as if it's some sort of artifact of a sort. And it's very different from this general map you have that's cleaned from some kind of atlas, which is sort of, although I will note this other map you have, which is a modern map, is a map that looks like an escape route for people fleeing France, Vichy France, that you happen to have in this, that was in this case of your colleague, which seems to be escape routes to get people leaving Vichy France to Algiers, to Casablanca, then up to Lisbon and out to America. It seems to be some sort of underground railroad route that your colleague and you seem to have access to for some reason. Why, I don't know why you would have something that looks very, very suspicious to the police, I imagine. I would imagine. And then 2 letters. Rockette, would you read one of them? How about the one to Mr. DeVries from Franklin Wilson?
Yes.
1E.
So, M. Paul DeVries, Ministry of Cultural Affairs, 134 Boulevard de Marchal, Casablanca, French Morocco. Dear Mr. DeVries, this is to confirm that a study group from Ohio State University will arrive in Casablanca on December 2nd or 3rd. The group will research the possible benefits and feasibility of an archaeological dig at the caverns southwest of Casablanca. Specifically, the group will seek to ascertain whether the, quote, Great Cavern shown on an archaic treasure map in the university's possession actually exists. Of course, this initial study, no idea what that was, this initial study shall be at the university's expense. We appreciate the interest of your government in co-sponsoring a larger expedition at some time in the future, should it prove to be warranted. And thank you in advance for your cooperation with our preliminary study group. Sincerely, Franklin Wilson, Chairman, Department of Archaeology and Anthropology, Ohio State University.
I love all that blood. And indeed, this seems to be the archaic treasure map that you have on your person. Doctor, would you read the other letter in your...
I'm unconscious.
No, he said doctor.
He can bring you back, actually.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait.
This is
how many of us are doctors?
Well, you're all... Well, if you have a PhD, you're a doctor.
Oh, yeah.
You're just not a medical doctor.
My bad.
Yeah. There's only one medical doctor here.
Yes, there's no medical doctor. So who did you want to read what?
Could I have our medical doctor read it, if you would?
Oh, the medical doctor read it. Okay.
Yes, please.
So, the Hotel Français. Dr. Paul Museman, Office of the Comptroller, Ohio State University, Columbus, Ohio, United States of America. November 1st, 1941. Dear Sir, The Hotel Français of Casablanca is pleased to confirm a reservation for your party to arrive on December 5th, 1941. We understand that there may be yourself and up to 3 other representatives of the university. Accordingly, we have arranged for the requested suite to be at your disposal. Your advanced payment for 10 days and nights has been credited to your account. If we may be of service in any other way, please contact us. The management, Hotel Français, Casablanca, French Morocco.
And you hear the sounds of boots. Heavy
good.
shoes. The police are coming.
With our stuff. Yep. Stash them. Hide them.
And the door opens and the police sort of burst in, seeing this attack in the blood.
They shouldn't suspect us anymore.
And you just are like,
someone attacked us.
Like the windows been like broken in. There's
what is the meaning of this, right?
All over the floor.
Someone attacked us.
Right. And it is this sort of madness of like chaos as the police come, and it's like a whirlwind as we're going to take our break.
And people heard 8 shots go off that time.
Yes, they did.
The good news is no one here has any knife wounds.
They do not. They also don't see the knife, but there is this sort of like, there is this sort of chaos, right? In this moment is like a sort of like a whirlwind. The sand is not there. It has disappeared with the figure.
What about
that you still have?
Nice.
Because you scooped it up into a little vial. So that you still have.
Nice.
But all the rest is gone with that person. And all the people see, by the way,
left on the roof of the train. It's fine. We don't sound crazy.
Is carnage, but no bodies, just you all being injured.
Yeah, our assailant obviously came in, shot, missed us a whole lot, and then left.
He was a terrible shot.
Terrible shot, but 2 out of 8 ain't bad.
Doc, you were going to say?
Not well. If we're going on break, I'll answer the police when we come back.
Perfect.
And so we are going to go on break as our 3 figures with memories of President Reagan and Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher on a train to Casablanca with maps that might indicate they're helping out the resistance in some way and are on some kind of a search for a treasure.
No, we're not.
Might ponder what this is about.
We hit those maps. It's fine.
We're going to go on break. I want to thank everybody who's been donating for our charity. We currently have $300 raised out of $700 for the GLBT Historical Society. There is a button right, I think, down below where you can sort of click on there to support it. Our figures have had a very explosive sort of opening. They're not quite certain what they're going to do about that, but they are on their way to Casablanca. And what will they find? Well, they're going to find hospital care when they get there.
Yes, we will. Hopefully.
But then what else? We shall see when we go on break, everyone. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome back. We are here to start the next act of this first adventure of Sandman, the map of Halaal. So I'm very excited. I kind of can't handle it. We were chatting about it in the green room. We'll talk about it more. There is something very cool about this. There are other things happening, and I will say, there's an experience advancement system. There's a lot of stuff in here that I really am really excited to see how it sort of plays out. But at this moment, our protagonists who have awoken on a train in the 1940s with memories of the 1980s, because the game is from 1985, and it said in the rules they have the memory of everybody from 1985. So I figured I shouldn't give them 2023. Just gotta give them that. Also, they like the 80s, so and they were there on this train. There were some attacks, mysterious attacks. They are on the radar of the police. They are going to be brought to a hospital, absolutely, because they got shot by a very mysterious figure who showed up with sort of with the appearance of fine black sand. By the way, I spent the extra time to set up the 3-player. Why did I spend extra time to set up the 3-player?
In case this happened.
In case this happens, because this is what happens with the Zoom. It's one of the reasons why I spent a little bit of extra time last night.
Blame the guy who broke through the window for all this gunshotness.
It probably is the Sandman's fault, actually. And there was a costume change boudet.
He's the Sandman.
Someone is the Sandman.
Rocket
we will
Bucks.
hopefully
$10,000
Rocket back. Yes. Here we go. Yes, Rocket will be back once her computer restarts. So, to recap, they're on this train. They do not know who they are. This system doesn't have character sheets, but it has usual skills, seal cards, and everybody has a health track. But just have to deal with it. They don't have to worry about it so much. Anything that you're untrained in, you can do at 40% unless it's a reduced chance, like really bad circumstances, then it's 20%. And then if you have better skills, you can go more. And since they have amnesia, they did not know what their skills are. They have learned that our doctor is a really good sniper, as well as a doctor, weirdly. They know that one of our archaeologists, Professor Ross,
archaeologist.
is an archaeologist, but really good with handguns.
I'm Indiana Jones.
Yes. And then our third archaeologist does not yet know all what they're good at, but they know that they're a really good stunt driver. They can drive vehicles.
Not an archaeologist.
But does not have the archaeology anthropology skill. Weirdly. Yeah. Interestingly enough. And so they're here, and what they do know is that they had a colleague who was murdered and their body disappeared. They very wisely did not mention this body to the police. They did not mention their friend because that would have been a bad idea. So some wisdom there. And then there were these SS officers who were shot right next to them, and the police suspected that they might have had something to do with it.
But I yeeted that gun out a window after holding it with a handkerchief, so I got no fingerprints on it.
Yep, no fingerprints. Now, perhaps they were suspicious of you because, as it turns out, you have documents on you that sort of imply that you might be aiding the French resistance. But that's
history.
That's weird.
Archaeology. I'm just a big nerd.
Yeah. But in this fight with this mysterious figure, two of our archaeologists got injured with critical wounds. The doctor was able to lessen those wounds down to just sort of like heavy wounds, but they're going to need
medical care
to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Our protagonists, are brought by the police to the hospital when the train comes into Casablanca, and I do have nice. See, I'm
Welcome
telling
back,
you,
Janice.
I spend the extra time.
I just disappeared from here, and
happens these days.
Kiss mark on his cheek. It was wild.
Perfect. I spend the extra time making. I spent the extra time in the middle of the night to make the 3-player setup just in case.
Sleep?
Ish, yeah. And
okay. That's not an all-nighter answer. So okay.
It wasn't an all-nighter.
It might be an hour nap, but that's better than none. So
I probably should have stayed up even longer, but I didn't. That said, I'm gonna just show you all something exciting.
Oh. Yes, I have this.
Yes. So you all travel into Casablanca. Casablanca, of course, is this amazing ancient city with like beautiful like buildings. Like it is like a gorgeous place. It is, your movement into this place is somewhat marred by the fact that, two of you have been shot and you've had some strange things happening. Also, you think you might be from 1985. So that's also a bit of a thing that is perhaps putting a slight damper on the situation. It is what it is. But our two have been brought to the hospital. leaving our doctor to sort of check in for them at the Hotel Français, which is where your reservations are. You're going to have to spend the night there, the whole day. You're going to have to basically spend a whole day of rest. And after a whole day of rest, you've made clear 1 wound. Luckily, you only have 1, which is,
I can double the usual rate of healing wounds. I only have 1 chance to speed a character's healing rate, and if you succeed, you must look in on the patient while he or she rests.
Please do. Would you roll both of your medical rolls?
Yeah. So I'll do Margaret first. Janice second.
Oh,
Janice gets it.
This will either go really well or really poorly.
Okay. Also, love it. I just need to. It's good. I need to I think we could make a really cool macro for this that would like have the levels, and it'd be like a nice. We can make something very nice out of this. So, it's going to take a full day for Margaret to heal. Janice will be actually done in like basically a half a day. We'll be sort of patched up.
I did get up in his face and get shot real bad, so
yeah.
But he didn't shoot at you guys anymore. I'm like a hero.
And you got rid of all those bullets.
A hero.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
I'm going to say this. You heal perhaps faster than you might imagine. Doc, this is what I'm going to tell you about the healing. Those were terrible, terrible wounds that you do not think should heal as fast as they do.
Mm-hmm.
But they do. Now, when I say you're healed, I don't mean that you're right as rain. I mean that you still have bandages and you're like, oof, right? It's just that it's not going to impair you in that way.
Mm-hmm.
But considering how quickly people were able to get back on their feet, with your skill, you think to yourself, it's a little bit weird that the person who was the closest to that figure was clearly a regular human being and not at all weird, even though, is not healing as fast as you think that you could do, right? It's like it's a sort of kind of strange thing where like, oh, we're healing kind of fast, but you're not healing as fast as the. Do you know what I mean?
Like time shenanigans.
More like,
or more like, some of us are.
More like this figure might have a negative impact on health recovery. That kind of a way.
Oh, okay.
Only one of us touched him.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
Yes.
I did touch him. I gave him a little smooch on the
kiss.
cheek.
You have some of his dandruff too, so.
So let us talk to our
real good.
Our doctor first. Because you're gonna be the one who's gonna check into the hotel for the group.
Yeah.
Once you're all recovered, you are summoned to the police station. But when you go to the Hotel Français is the largest of several European hotels in Casablanca. And it has every luxury. It is luxurious, is what I would say. When you check in, I imagine you don't look the greatest. It's been a bit of a time for the doc, and both of your companions, neither of them are with you. They're in the hospital. I imagine you'll probably go back out there to meet them. But as you check in, there's a clerk, Fez, and says, Monsieur, welcome to the Hotel Français. We have a note for you. It was left here for you earlier today. And he hands you
thank you.
A small note is what he does. And I am going to make this visible to everyone. And also our chat. Would you read out this thing that you have?
Esteemed colleagues, my sincere apologies for having missed your train. I was unavoidably detained. I would like to be your host tonight at Rick's Café Américain at 2000, 8 p.m. to you Americans. the map below is my own crude rendering. I hope it's of use. With kind regards, Paul Livries.
DeVries.
The person who is traveling with us.
But okay, fine.
It's a fancy cursive D.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. It's like a D with like a toupee kind of thing. Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Toupee. Now this is a different person because the person you were traveling with was Paul Musman.
Oh, okay. So just a different Paul. All right.
A different Paul.
This is the one who sent some of the early letters, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Mr.
right.
Paul DeVries, the Ministry of Cultural Affairs.
Yes.
And he's given us a map of what I assume is old Casablanca, because there's a section that says Newtown. It's in the bazaar. There's streets wind are not straight as I've drawn, of course. The prefect of police, Rick's Cafe, is near the airport by a wall, close to a rail yard, by the German embassy, which is basically the opposite side of the bazaar from where we are at the Hôtel Français.
It's outside the city wall, which is interesting.
No, the Rick's Cafe is inside the city walls.
No, the German embassy is outside.
Oh, the German embassy is outside. Yeah, well, I don't know. For the time, it might make sense.
So,
it's just interesting.
You have a letter.
Yes,
you were to
I
meet.
will tuck it into my pocket.
And when you arrive, you're gonna have to spend. Now, I will note that this will be not for tonight, but the night after, because you will have to basically spend a day recovering, and then you will heal up. And I will take off those wounds, by the way.
Yay!
But before you can enjoy your time at Rick's Cafe Americain, you have to speak to the chief of police.
Dude, we gotta get our guns back.
Yes, if you want to get your guns
helpful.
back. Yes.
Seeing as how I was shot, I'd like to shoot back next time.
Yeah. So, the next day, early in the morning, when they discharge Margaret from the hospital, the police are there to pick you all up and to take you in to the prefecture.
Great. Oh, wow.
When you arrive, you're brought into the office of the prefect of the police. And I need to ask you some questions. They are important questions, and they're about your character.
Yes.
And it may be hard for you to answer this question, but I need to know the answer. Your character, that you have amnesia, and so you don't know much about them. Have you ever, how much has your character watched old movies? I know Margaret doesn't like history, so I don't know if she has. But what about the rest of y'all?
Blunt history class, but I know archaeology, so it makes up for it.
Have your characters watched old movies back in the 80s is my question.
So
the old Christmas movies, that's it.
Stunt driving. I would guess that Janice has watched a lot of movies. Old, new, studying some of them, but also really just in love with movies. Making connections with people involved with movies. When you be able to have those conversations.
Interesting. That makes sense to me. I do have some follow-up questions about that, but those will come later. As you are sort of brought in to the office of the prefect of Morocco, there's a man there. His name is, he's like the chief of police, Louis Renault. And he's sort of like a roguish sort of character. A little... I mean, he's the chief of police of a pretty rough place, so he probably has seen a few things. And he's sitting there in his uniform, and he watches you all, and there's something about him. There's something about him, Janice, if that is your real name.
Lip print on his cheek? No? Okay, good.
No. But there's something that is familiar about him that you're not quite certain that you could put your finger on just yet. But as you come in, he says, Dr. Ross, We have a complete file on your activities before your arrival in French Morocco. I trust you've healed well. We know, for example, that you began raising funds in the United States in 1938, funds which were funneled to the underground movement in German-occupied Czechoslovakia. And you have been an outspoken critic of the Third Reich in your homeland, Dr. Ross.
Ross looks genuinely surprised. Like, that's the first she's heard of it.
And you, turns to you, Dr. Bright. You also have a record of anti-fascist activities. Can you deny that you were in Spain in 1935, aiding the anti-fascists in the Civil War? Do you deny it?
My good sir, I have no recollection of this.
Well, whether you admit it or not is of little consequence, because we have documentation proving your activities there. As for you, Dr. Harris, we cannot call your record favorable either. We know that you, like Dr. Bright, aided the anti-fascists in Spain in 1935. And the minute he says that, it hits you. You know him. You know this guy. You have seen him before. You have seen him, you've seen him, actually. Where was it? Where did you see him? You saw him in... He was the Invisible Man. He played the Invisible Man. That amazing old film with the amazing special effects where like they made it look like he was an invisible person. That's Claude Rains. That's Claude Rains, the actor. He was in Casablanca, the one with Bogart and Bacall. He played the chief of police in that movie. Yeah. Yep. He played the chief of police in the movie Casablanca, which had a club. Humphrey Bogart owned the club called the Rick's Cafe.
American Cafe?
Yeah, that is correct.
Excuse me, what? I'm sorry, could you... What was your name again?
Louis Renaud. I'm the chief of police here. Now, this may be occupied France, but you must certainly realize that the French Moroccan government has a close relationship with the German Reich. With your history, our German friends would like nothing more than to have your heads. And why should I feel otherwise? My government regards you, at best, as enemy aliens, even though your home country is currently neutral in the war. There is insufficient evidence at this time to convict you of a crime here in French Morocco. However, you are suspects in the murder of the 2 German officers on that train. Your weapons are therefore confiscated. You are forbidden to leave Casablanca.
Shot ourselves.
And
would be implicated.
He has your passports, and he takes out a stamp, and he cancels your exit visas. You may have your passports back, but you are not allowed to leave Casablanca.
Indefinitely? You can't do that.
Well, until we decide.
This is fascism.
I would be a bit more careful, Dr. Harris of the Abraham Lincoln Brigade, if I were you.
He didn't mean it.
Janice, he seems to have no, he does not seem to be an actor playing a part. He seems to just be this person, except that you know the actor, which is weird. But he doesn't
it's
seem
as if he stepped out of this movie somehow.
Yes. Yes. It is as if he stepped out of the movie somehow, right? So it's not like he is Claude Rains pretending to be this person. He's just this person who was at one point in time in the movie played by Claude Rains, right? So you will perhaps be more cooperative now that you cannot leave without my permission. What are you doing in Casablanca? You three.
We're all sitting there like, that's a great fucking question.
We're studying the cultural artifacts.
Yes, you don't cover history, of course.
There's so much rich culture and history in this area that, as you can see from our paperwork, we're academics.
Oh yeah. I love history so much.
I've seen your paperwork. All of your anti-fascist paperwork.
But you know, that was the past. Now is the present, and I'm here to try to turn over a new leaf and really get down in the nitty-gritty of the history of this wonderfully rich country, this beautiful, beautiful country. Try to, dig up some cool things. There's a theory that the Romans, and I'll go into like some long spiel about Pliny the Elder and how really there's actually a shocking lack of culinary history from Africa in general, especially Morocco.
This is very convenient. So, you are allowed to go to this expedition of yours. It falls within the boundaries of Casablanca, but you are not allowed to leave. And I will not have you upsetting our German allies with whatever sort of thing. Your doctor seems to be a bit hot-headed. My understanding from the papers is that he was the first on the scene to see the bodies of our slain German allies.
He's just a very caring and kind individual. I mean, he treated us as soon as we were shot by a terrible assailant of ours on the train as well.
Because we also got shot.
No one has seen.
Yeah, just broken from the window from the outside top of the train. Yeah, like, because we could totally do that ourselves.
I wouldn't put it past you all. I don't know what game you're playing here.
Look offended.
In Casablanca. But this is not a game.
History and exploration is not a game.
Neither is the security of this city.
And it seems like you have that well under control.
Do you have any questions about your restrictions?
Yes, if you could just give me a detailed list on any of the things that we are and aren't allowed to do, because I would, again, hate to upset your German comrades.
Well, whatever sort of anti-fascist things you are doing in other places, you are not allowed to do here. And I would
Easy enough?
Not recommend any loud disparagements of our German allies while you're here.
I'm a very quiet individual. I love reading. It's a quiet activity.
Perhaps you will also keep your Dr. Harris under control.
Well, and then Janice
she's also very quiet.
Your Dr. Bright. He's looking at both of you two who served in the Spanish Civil War doing stuff, and he is not happy with any of that at all. At all.
Well, I must say, I am very impressed with the way that you run your district. And she starts like kind of, it would seem maybe picks up a little bit of a flirtatious kind of affect.
I was thinking about it if you weren't gonna.
But I'm so impressed with the way that you're running this. You know, if you ever need any more information, or to, I don't know.
You're at the Hôtel Français. I know exactly where you're staying.
Well, feel free to look me up anytime.
And he's about to say something when there's a knock on the door, and another police officer sort of pops in and says, excuse me, Prefect, there's another visa problem for you. I think you'll enjoy this one. And you can see there's a young woman, kind of looks like Ingrid Bergman, who's out there sort of concerned about her visa problem.
She's drunk.
And he goes, well, here are your visas. And they have these big black stamps that say void on them. It says, have a pleasant stay in Casablanca. I suspect it will be a much longer stay than you anticipated.
Well, I was actually honestly a little bit concerned that 10 days would be enough to explore all the wonderful historic treasures that your city has to offer.
Good day.
So. I think when Janice takes hers back, she'll kind of pause for a moment. I hope that it is. Don't forget to look me up. And then takes it.
And he has been eyeballing Dr. Bright the entire time. Because Dr. Bright had a little bit of an outburst, and he's like,
He should be proud I called him a fascist. Isn't it what he likes?
Isn't that his favorite?
Like, if you didn't like your tone. A Nazi, shouldn't that be a compliment for them?
It was your tone. You know, your tone was sort of pointed.
It with a sour face.
Wait, Nazis can understand subtext?
Oh, he's French though. Like he's in the French area.
Yeah,
he's not. He's
French only speaking in subtext. So as they're walking out, though, I imagine they're all kind of walking side by side. Janice will lean over and kind of under her breath as soon as they're out of range of hearing. Blood rains from Casablanca.
What?
I
never saw that movie.
So help me if I know anything. I know this. That was Claude Rains from Casablanca, but not like the actor playing him. It was like he stepped right out of a film.
Okay, that's weird. Keep your eyes out for any other Hollywood stars, I guess.
Wait. GM question.
Yes.
My character mentioned earlier Indiana Jones. I don't think he listens to old movies, but he would have known about Indiana Jones, maybe perhaps because of
it was a big hit.
That Arab guy, that Bedouin.
Yes.
Did he look like the guy with the sword in Raiders of the Lost?
Yes.
The man on the train.
Yes.
What about him?
The sword. I should have known.
This is the guy who did the swords and Indy shot him. Oh, I started with class though.
Revolvers.
We did it.
I should have. I do everything. I pay such close attention to props and choreography.
Oh my gosh! No wonder his knife was so fancy. At least we still have the knife. Not that any of us are good with a knife, but at least we have something.
So thinking really quick, as Janice starts thinking about fight choreography, the mind starts tumbling around. The choreography, perhaps a skill that maybe somebody would know involved in the stunt business. Oh, okay.
Nope. But it's interesting, right? Because you don't get the sense of it. There's something that's a little bit. It's like when you got into the fight and when you watched Professor Ross, there was something that was both almost cinematically choreographed, but at the same time quite desperate and not. There's like kind of like a weird. It's like if real people are getting into fights, in a way where they've seen a lot or have been experiencing a lot of cinema, and a little bit of that fairy dust sort of carries with them. So it's not exactly, it feels very real and very dangerous and still a little bit messy, but there was just something about like the way that Professor Ross took him out, that guy in the end. It just felt a little bigger. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the writer. I'm gonna write us something.
So you're saying is that we're thinking these things and then they're coming into existence? Like we're manifesting reality? Fuck, if that's the case, I'm gonna start thinking about Tron.
By the way, it is a bright, sunny day as you leave the prefecture.
We should get
and
hats.
you have got an appointment at Rick's.
All right,
But
let's
that's
try
later
to...
tonight.
That is.
I would like, and I'll say that to Janice and Margaret. I would like to go back to the hotel for a moment.
Sure.
I need to check something.
All right, let's do that. Also, how's
Mhm.
y'all's German in case we run into those guys?
Not great. Actually, wait, no, mine's phenomenal. I lied.
Yep, we've
Yeah.
got good German.
Now that you mention it, it's really starting.
Ah, genau. It's exactly as expected. Interesting.
You're not going to be leaving Casablanca with those big voids on your passport. That's a true thing.
Well, not legally.
Not well. I mean, I'm sure you've done anything illegal.
But
Not
sounds like our
us.
characters are have lived on the edge before we inhabited them, so maybe we would.
Apparently. You make your, when you have that map, you make your way back towards the hotel. And it's on the other end, right, of the sort of the old town from where Rick's Cafe is and where the airport is. That dramatic airport. As the case may be. What do you do when you get back there?
It's because it popped in my head. If I have a secret compartment with rifle bullets, there should be a disassembled rifle somewhere.
One would think.
If it is not in the suitcase, it might be in the suite that was already booked for us.
We'll look for that with you.
I'm let's all
gonna get
tear
that
this
knife
place
back,
apart.
Look for secret stuff. Yeah, get that knife on you.
I tuck that away.
When you get into your hotel, people watch you, right? Like, you just have the sense of being watched. And not necessarily, I mean, one, because you're American tourists, obviously. And of course, the people who work at the hotel are going to watch you because they want to make sure you're fine. But you just feel like maybe it's just your imagination, but you feel observed. And when you go back to that hotel room that had been pre-reserved for you, set aside for you, where people knew that you were going to be there, and you go through the room, your knife is still in your luggage because they had already searched you. They did not realize that you had got a brand new knife.
Where would we get that from?
The shard of glass is not there, of course, because that's the Bedouin from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yep. But inside the undercarriage of the bed frame, there is a disassembled rifle. That is correct. There is one there. And if you try to reassemble it, it's like you've done this hundreds of times before.
Are you sure we're here for an archaeological mission? This seems a lot like some kind of hit job.
It really feels like it's a hit job.
Well, that
are we going to
sniper rifle? But it is like nothing like modern stuff that you would have seen like, in the present day in the 80s.
But it's like a Garand or something.
Yeah.
It's
wow,
still
like, are we work?
Like, maybe we should just be on our best behavior. They'll get bored and let us go. Like, what are we doing here?
Well, being an expert marksman, looking out the windows of our room. What do I see? Because this is clearly like a nest or something.
Oh, we all have one room, right? That's also a little weird.
We're all in the one room, yeah.
Yeah. And there's suites connected, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you've got connected suites, but you've got like a, you know, those like really fancy places where there's like a, where you've got like a, like you have like an entire suite with adjoining doors.
That's less
Right,
exciting,
so, like,
Trooper.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Limericks later.
It's really nice, is what I'm trying to say. It is. So this place is very busy, very full. What you can see, you can't see the embassy from here. Like it is very dense, very messy, very tightly packed. It doesn't feel to you as if you've got really great sightlines on anything in particular.
Okay.
Although anybody who's anyone is going to be staying at this hotel. That is if you are fancy or important, this is going to be the hotel. You are at the most expensive and fanciest hotel here in Casablanca.
We have 10 nights booked, and then we ran out of money.
Yeah.
So you're booked in advance. We each only have like $200 on us, so.
No, 200 francs.
Francs, yeah.
Which is
well, $200 worth of franc because you have.
Okay. Because it's like 2 penny per franc. So
yeah. So you've got some good bribery money. I mean, you know, whatever you got.
Should have busted that out at the.
Well, I thought we had 200 francs. That's why I didn't pull it out on the policeman earlier. Because I'm like, that's worth nothing.
It's okay.
It's like $20.
Maybe that might not have been the
regardless. Yeah.
It was a little sour, that one.
Yeah.
You got $200 worth of francs, which is probably partly why that cop was like, you and your rich Americans.
Which is a lot in 1940s money.
Yes. Yeah.
But how much was it in 1985 money?
It's still a bit better than now, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, definitely better than the 40s.
So, what do you do?
No, not Swiss franc. Sorry.
Swiss franc.
Keep going. Yeah, that's completely different.
Plus, what do I do with this?
You have
$200 in 1941 was the same purchasing power as $1,500 in 1985.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's definitely
inflation.
not bad.
$1,000 in 1985 is worth how much today? Like what?
1 million.
Yeah. Let me do it. 1985.
Franc, because francs aren't worth anything anymore anyway.
Well, how much is it worth today?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Which is worth $4,193 today.
That's not as much as I would have thought.
So you like wander around with like $4,000 on you?
Quadrupled from the 80s, but
yeah, but it's been that was like.
You have a shopping money. But what do you do? You are in Casablanca. You're not allowed to leave. You have a rifle and a knife. You have a date at this Café Américain at 8 o'clock at night, which is a thing that was in a movie. What do you do?
Jess gonna holding this knife, like while they're still in the room looking around and stuff, gonna be like kind of, because there's something, she feels like there's something she's not quite picking up. So gonna like take and kind of swing it around a little bit, like, does that feel like something I know about?
I think Margaret's sitting on like a little stool, like a little ottoman. Like, all right, try doing a dance. Maybe that'll work.
Gonna do just like a.
All right.
And at first it's gonna start off ridiculously, unless she actually does remember something.
Hey, what about a somersault? You do a cartwheel?
She'll do a cartwheel, or attempt to, or maybe not do it.
Yeah, you do a cartwheel. You don't feel like this is something that you are like expert in. Like you're not bad.
How did that look? Did it look like a normal cartwheel? Or
it looked like a normal cartwheel, yeah.
What about, is there anything she, just from curiosity, is there anything she could like, maybe like hop up and grab onto and like kind of dangle and see maybe if like somehow being up?
Gymnastically, yes.
Yeah,
you're
like
gymnastically inclined.
Like a molding you could probably do. You don't.
The picture molding.
I mean, you do that. I mean, you're all very sort of capable people. You can certainly do that sort of thing. You don't feel like you are especially good at it, but you're not incompetent, certainly.
What about disguise? Are you good at disguises? Can you do makeup?
Goes over and looks at herself in the mirror.
You feel like you've probably done makeup, but that probably does not seem what you are the most.
Oh, gosh.
What are you looking at, by the way? I would like a little bit more information about that, if you wouldn't mind.
Looking in the mirror? So first would be looking at her current makeup, just to see like, oh, apparently I put some makeup on apparently at the beginning of this day. But then would be kind of looking like, do I recognize myself? Do I look like I think I would look? Like, do I look at myself and think, like, I recognize this face. This is a face I've seen.
It's a very good question.
Watch a lot of movies. I'm just sliding that across the table. So many movies.
Yeah.
I'm a book person.
I'm going to say that you do not recognize this face as someone who's like famous. This is clearly your face. Although, now that you look closely, there's something very weird about what you're seeing. Not that there's something off with the face, but you don't necessarily feel like it's yours. Like, you have a vague feeling that maybe you looked different in 1985. That this might not even be your body, actually. That's weird. You know what? That's silly. I'm sorry. That's just a weird thought. Go ahead. Just, it's silly times.
Turn to Margaret. Margaret, help me. You're my only hope. Huh?
Oh, yeah. We're gonna go straight to Dantooine. We're gonna. I mean, it kind of looks like Tatooine outside. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, if we only had a lightsaber, this whole thing would be a lot easier.
Oh, that'd be. I mean, the closest we have is a knife.
It's a good knife, though. You know,
it is
when I
good
first
knife.
picked this knife up, I could tell it's a very valuable knife. Worth a lot.
Could you?
That is correct.
Hold on.
That is correct. It is
I'm an
worth a
archaeologist.
lot.
It's like
It is
a
very
lot of money,
valuable.
this one.
I'm gonna go to like some of the decor in the room. I mentioned there's like, because it's a nice hotel, they probably have some nice vases and like that kind of thing. What about this vase? This vase? How much is this worth? Can you appraise it for me?
That is also a very expensive vase. You would assess that it is probably not as expensive as it looks. You would think that perhaps it probably sort of comes off as a bit more expensive than it actually is.
Well, I can tell they're trying to make the room look more expensive than it is.
What
it's
about
not
my
cheap? It's not cheap, but it's.
What about my suit? How much do you think this is worth?
You
would
have a
I
new
be able
card,
to tell
by the
from
way.
a different? I have a new. Oh, would I be able to tell the suit is from like
The 30s,
the era?
Older.
Yes.
It's a little older.
Yeah. It's a
more
little
out of style.
older. It's not as fashionable. It could be. It's not as fashionable. It could really do. Quality's decent, but it's not particularly a wealthy outfit. But
Bargaining.
Oh, that's helpful.
Hey.
yes.
With this skill, I can raise or lower a price, whichever suits me the best. Okay.
So you're our briber.
Well, I'm starting to think.
You need some watches. I got some.
But could you be like a fence?
Oh.
Well,
do you?
I don't see why not.
If we wanted to get guns on the black market here, what would you do?
Well, I think going and looking out the window. Well, you see those guys over there? Those people. They're wearing stuff that's a little bit nicer than the kind of.
My gosh, we're all shady as fuck.
Oh, sure, it's fine.
You said you looked out the window, right? And you were looking? Yeah. So as you do, you look out the window. You're just scanning. Like if you were thinking about being like a a fence or a smuggler, that kind of a thing, like, rum running or something like that. Just imagining, like, if you had those kind of eyes, right, what would you do with it? On your map, there is the map that you got from DeVries. There's a little place called the Blue Parrot, and you can see it very well from your vantage point from the Hôtel Français. And when you sweep out, this whole place is super crowded. There's nothing that would, like, for most people, nothing would stand out at all. But as you're sweeping over it, that place catches your eye a little bit. And it is, it's like a supply shop, is what it is. It's a place that would sell, it's like a tavern, perhaps. Certainly not a place you would buy illegal goods. Certainly.
You see that down there?
Yeah.
That right there. See that? It kind of looks like a bar, but it's a little too quiet.
And there are a bunch of people lounging around this place, which is just a bar. In a way that makes me think there's security. Yeah.
But you said you watched a lot of movies, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, like historic movies. All right, you helped with the girdle earlier. All right, I say, we go through our luggage. We find, we gotta be ready for alpha changes. This is like a total, like, we are in over our head situation. At least I feel like I'm in over my head.
Maybe not. You don't know how high your head is.
It's about 5. I remember it's like a half foot taller than I remember, like, seeing things, and it's like I could see so much like stuff from a higher vantage. Anyways,
nothing could be over your head. You're very tall.
I remember being very short. Anyways, 5'6", so tall, decently tall for the era too. Well, what if we, like, I'm gonna do my 2 outfit thing again, but I'm thinking we can maybe get some stuff at the Blue Parrot on our way out. Make sure we're, like, extra covered for any and all situations.
I think it's a good idea. Also, it's very warm outside, so pick some light things if you're going to be layering.
Yeah, natural fibers. Keep the
Maybe cover the, keep
the
sun off.
I need like a shawl. Oh, look, I packed one. I have like a gauzy one and like a thick gauzy, right? We're in.
No? Well, you want something that keeps the sun off. So if it's too gauzy, sun might get right through it.
That's true, but maybe I can wear this one underneath in case, like,
You do like layers, from what I've.
They do. We can pull layers off in a worst case scenario. We're very, very distracting.
Now that I see you in this, that would make it great for disguise too, though. Maybe if we need, just like kind of cover up the face.
I like it. All right.
It's a little harder for me.
Well, we can get you a nice dress.
Borrow dress.
One, maybe. 2, I look at the rifle. If I disassemble it, can I hide it on my person?
Ooh, well, you do have the rifle skill. I would say if with the right outfits,
he has the doctor skill, which means he's knows where to put things in anatomy.
No.
I think with the right outfit, like you wouldn't want to be wearing like tight pants or anything like that, but with the right outfit, absolutely.
But if
thankfully,
I have, like,
tight pants aren't in fashion.
A layered outfit with
absolutely,
the type of like baggy
should buy
pants
some
that you would have there, and
local wear.
Because then I can hide the rifle with me, so they cannot search our room and take it away.
Yep, that's a great idea. Yeah, let's get some local wear. Right now, all I've got is a scarf. So,
all right, I guess this is a shopping episode.
Woo!
So,
shopping
as you sort of walk out, bright daylight. It's the middle. It's like very early morning. You were there at the prefecture, like pretty soon, like early in the day, like right first thing. So it's like probably around like noon or so when you go to step out of the hotel. And as you sort of step out of the hotel, you walk directly into the Café Américain. And as you walk into this nightclub, you can see that there's a clock and it is 8 p.m. exactly.
Oh, nice.
And this is clearly the place to be in Casablanca. There are all these customers there smoking and drinking, and they're having a lovely time. It is clearly like the nighttime. There's like a guy playing a song on the piano, heavy cigarette smoke fills the air. And there are these large ceiling fans that sort of stir this around a little bit. And the walls are stucco. And there's these huge palms with like casting shadows on them. But the room itself is like the cafe is pretty dark. Can't always see everybody in there. Only little like fringed lamps on tables. These little small circular tables. And most of the customers are European, well-dressed. And they're around each table gathered. And seems as if these are people who are also just sort of stranded, right, on their route with nothing else to do and no place to go on their way out somewhere. And the club's band is on its break. And you can hear "It Had to Be You, It Had to Be You," sort of drifting from a piano. There's a piano player across the room. And there's this beautiful, beautiful woman, blonde, dark-eyed, and she's sitting beside the pianist. And she says, "Play it again, Sam." And he begins to play as time goes by. And you're muted.
Oh, did you hear what she said? Hey.
Yeah. What? I just.
Yeah, no. You know what? It doesn't even matter.
Okay, I haven't seen Casablanca. I'll say it again if that's.
Is that from the movie?
Yeah, right. You know what? No one else is enjoying this, so that's fine.
And the maitre d' brings you in and sits you down at a table between these two big rooms. And you can see like almost every nation of the world is represented in this cafe at the moment. They're all there. And you can see people from China, from Egypt, from France, and especially Janice. You notice every kind of person is here doing every kind of business. People are in little tables, buying and selling things. Probably anything that you might want to get that might be less legal. I bet you could find someone to buy or sell here. This seems to be like one of those sorts of places. And you feel like you might have been here before. Not this place, but places like this. And a man walks up, small-framed. Sort of a subdued white business suit. He's sophisticated, clean, impeccable. He speaks to the maitre d' a little bit, who points to where you're at. And he walks over, and he says, "Good evening. I am Paul de Vries, from the Ministry of Cultural Affairs. Please accept my apologies for not meeting your train. I trust your journey to Casablanca was a pleasant one?"
Very exciting.
It was very eventful. Yep.
Well, I think we have quite a bit of business, you and I. I'm sorry for any unfortunate incidents you had with the police, I have been told. He sort of places his forearms on the table, and you can see like a ring on his right hand, and he very discreetly opens up the top of the ring's gem so that only you all can notice this. It's very, very subtle. And concealed inside the diamond ring that he's wearing, when he raises the gem, you can see the symbol of Free France, of the French resistance. Very, very subtle.
Is that the same as mine?
You'd have to check.
I'm gonna check my diamond ring on my right ring finger.
Yes, the top opens, and inside is the symbol of the French resistance, the sort of the cross of the French resistance.
So cool.
Right there. And he says, "Would you be willing to help the resistance in a very small matter?"
Already here.
It's not like we can leave anyway.
All right.
What you need?
And he speaks in a whisper.
Yeah.
Just sometimes just saying something really random if somebody's walking by a little bit too closely. Just to make sure that nobody hears what he's saying. He says, unfortunately, for all of us.
I'll start smoking a cigarette because I have cigarettes to make a cloud of smoke so it's harder for people to read our lips if they're trying.
Unfortunately, there's a spotlight on you because of the train incident. The Nazis...
getting shot sucks.
I'm so sorry.
I got better.
The Nazis have learned of your very important archaeological mission.
Oh, no, it's not. It doesn't sound great.
Of course, they think that you're just trying to find the treasure for the resistance. So, they do intend to get their hands on the treasure first. Now, I actually doubt that the treasure exists, but...
That'd be silly.
That doesn't matter. What does matter is keeping the Nazis from tailing your every move. Now, only you have a copy of the map, so only you know exactly where the Great Cave lies. If you guard the map well, the location is safe. But be careful. The Resistance believes that the Nazis have brought in an assassin called the Sandman.
Oh, no, okay.
Who intends to kill you to get the map.
Oh, that's great.
But we do have slightly more pressing matters to discuss. Several days ago, some local Arabs were transporting a case of documents contained to us here in Casablanca for the resistance, and they contained valuable information about Nazi intelligence. Unfortunately, the Gestapo ambushed our Arab friends in the desert southwest of Casablanca, not far from the famous Tower of Allah. Now, they fought back bravely, but they were overwhelmed by the Gestapo forces. The Nazis did not recover the papers, however, and we believe that the Arabs hid the documents on the sea cliffs near the Tower of Allah. So what I ask of you is this. I know that you're going to go to the Great Cave as part of your official business here in Casablanca. But should you find these valuable documents too, well, all enemies of the Nazi Reich would be in your debt. Perhaps the greatest of our resistance leaders has arrived in Casablanca, en route to America. It is essential that he have those papers with him when he leaves. We are aware of your past records with anti-fascist activities, and since you bear the ring, we hope that we can count on you. Once again, will you help us?
I think it's the only thing to do. We'll look at the other two.
Yeah, I think that's what we're here for.
All right. All right. Sure, we have more things to discuss. Have you outfitted for your archaeological expedition yet?
Not yet. No.
Well, I know a place where you might be able to get supplies and a guide.
That'd be great.
Not too far from here. The trustworthy place.
What's the name of it?
The Blue Parrot. It's
look at Janice yeah, you could called it.
It's a discretion they have. Now,
very discreet.
I will note that his supplies are somewhat Ferrari's his name. They are somewhat inflated. You might want to get extra cash upon you.
Right.
You might need to raise funds to afford what you need. There's gambling here at the cafe,
Oh, gambling.
lot.
Yeah, that was my first thought. Mm-hmm.
Yes, the owner, Rick, I think you can see him over there. There's Humphrey Bogart off in the corner.
Uh-huh.
He might spin things in your favor. He's a friend of the Resistance, after all.
Mm.
But watch yourself. I going to go, but
Do
I
have a
don't
quick
quite...
question for you before you leave.
Yes.
Have you ever seen this before? And I'll like slide across my vial of black sand.
He looks at it. Sand. Strange. I've not seen this before, but I do know that the Nazis are sending the Sandman after you. Perhaps this is his calling card.
Oh, yeah, that's the case. He's trying real hard, and it hasn't been super successful yet. Thanks. I'll just take it back.
Be careful. They have been scouring the desert for something. Something important. Something most likely to just fund their war machine. I wish you the best of luck.
Thanks.
Enjoy.
You too.
Enjoy your night at Rick's. And he stands up. He gives you a nod as he walks out, and as time goes by, plays on the piano, smoke goes through, and there's gambling in the back, people of all sorts maneuvering about. And as you ponder an expedition into the desert, both for important papers, but also for whatever treasure it is that is important enough that they would send some sort of assassin after you to get the map that you have. We will end it right here and now.
Oh.
This here is the end of Act 2, more or less. Once you get your supplies, that will be the end of Act 2. And hang about a bit.
How many acts?
That is 4.
Oh, interesting. Oh yeah, halfway.
A good four act excitement, because other things happen, and I'm just gonna note that the desert's totally normal and nothing weird happens there at all.
Yeah,
Sandworms.
That's fine.
Sandworms and Sting in a Speedo.
Don't think about Dune. Has Dune come out yet?
Yes.
Sting in a
Yes,
Speedo.
yes, it has.
Sting in a Speedo.
So, my friends, I'm so excited. We are at $350 out of $700 because we're raising money for the GLBT Historical Center. This was the beginning of the first adventure out of 4, by the way, of Sandman, the map of Halaal. And there was something I wanted to tell you because I like to tease, right? The teaser is, this one here is called, where did I put it? Is it in there? I hope so. Maybe it's in the back. Because there's there's a name for these things, and they come to you from really different places. While I'm looking this up, because I want to tease you, would you mind saying who you are and where we can find you? Give some love, and tell me what you thought about this absolute flop of a game that really did not do well back in 1985, and then also tell me if you would be willing to finish this adventure to see where it takes you.
First.
Yes, thank you. I was going to ask.
Go first.
Hey, everybody. I am Rockhead Fox, as always, and so going backward, yes. Let's figure out a date and time. I want to see this through. Perfect. I want to know what's going on, which leads me to the next point. We were talking about this on break a bit, that like this feels, to me anyway, like I understand you need the right players, you need the right GM especially, but like this feels like the kind of thing that would be so popular right now, you know? Like, and we had mentioned the idea of it being a flop when it came out because it was too ahead of its time, because it is more narratively based. You have to have the right people. Other stuff was very much like die roll, like action oriented, and this feels like the time and place for this game. It is amazing. Also, I've got to run. I'm working an event. You're all amazing,
Go.
Trooper. Thank you so much. I love you all. I will see you later.
Yep.
Ciao. I'm gonna take us back to our 3. Boom, 3. Because I worked it. Simon, you're next. Simon.
Oh, hello.
You did some. You made some snarky comments to fascists. Good on you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, come on. There will be Nazi punching in this game. That's all I'm saying. All I'm going to say.
Oh, I figured there would. I mean, when it starts with the 2 dead SS, I'm like, there was a moment where I thought, okay, wait, this game came out in 85. Were they attempting some sort of like flip the trope on its head, and we're actually SS officers or like SS spies that like you'll discover at the end of the game that you've been playing the bad guy all along? Because it's the type of thing that probably people would have done in the 80s, not seeing how romanticizing the SS could be. But I'm glad that that's not the case.
Looks like they just got straight up ganked.
They did.
Well, which I need to know who killed them. They were probably there to kill us.
Probably, or at least monitor us.
Yeah, but we have someone on our side, and I don't know who it is. Now, it kind of sucks that we're in 1985, because I would have really liked to have like the Mujahideen from the Mummy show up.
Yeah.
That would have been fucking awesome.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. Yeah.
But the Mummy is still a few years out. I am actually surprised that we haven't seen Ferris Bueller yet in the game. This is kind of strange. And but otherwise, I love the game. Honestly, I love the premise. We were talking about it on break, like Rocket said. I don't get that even back then. Like, this could be just like a more complex murder mystery. Like, it's not like these type of things never existed.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
But yeah, I really liked it. I like the like trying different stuff here and there, trying to figure out like how can I know who I am without also going full meta, you know, because we could just cycle through every action possible until we get all the cards.
But there is something meta about it, though. Do you know what I mean? Like, there is also, because you also know that there's something weird about this.
Well, yeah, because now it's like, we're like in a Matrix-y simulation type of thing. I feel like that's my my theory about time travel went out the window.
Yeah,
it hasn't come out yet.
No, it's not out yet. But 1985.
We have Blade Runner though, and Tron.
And Tron.
No, but I'm thinking novels more than anything.
Yeah.
And I think maybe there was some sort of like simulation type of thing that could have happened already. Anyway, because it could be a dream, like Sandman dreams, you know.
That's what I'm
thinking.
It's
basically we are like somewhere dreaming of something. Like, it could be a very old proto Assassin's Creed thing. Where we're back to like incarnating people that lived in the 40s, trying to find a location of that tomb for that treasure, which they probably never found, and we'll go there and blah blah blah. Would be fucking hilarious if that was the case. Yeah, no, I like it. I really like it, and I do want to continue, and I do want to try the other adventures. Definitely. It's just a shame that company went under.
I know. Can I read you the summary? One sentence summary for each of the 4 adventures?
Yeah, sure.
Please.
The first one, The Sandman Comes. That's the one we're doing right now. The description.
Oh, wow, that's the title of a porn movie, but continue.
I know, right?
Good. Desert reverie in Casablanca, where looks do kill.
Oh.
The second one, The Prophet of Darkness, mystical journeys through a dark, tattered land. The third one, A Feast for the Eyes, Gangsters and Fairylands of No Child's Dream. And then the last one is The Map of Halaal, Journey Beyond the Milky Way with Dionysius.
I'm sorry. Are we playing the Map of Halaal right now?
Yes, we are. That's the Map of Halaal is the last of the 4 adventures, but you did get it in this one.
Oh.
Interesting.
Yes.
I'm thinking with the fact that we're keeping the characters and jumping here and there to a bunch of stuff. Stephen King's The Dark Tower had come out by then. And it's kind of looking like it, because Dark Tower in the entire like series, isn't it like where like all of his characters from his other novels are there from time to time, or places, or it's like this big cinematic universe? Is that something? And since we're keeping the characters, or you can keep the character from one adventure to another.
No, let me just rephrase this. I want to be very more specific.
Oh, okay.
You keep your skills.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, but that means in a way there's some sort of like keeping a thing going. Like the doctor is there will always be a doctor, but he doesn't necessarily look the same in every
that is correct. That is correct.
I really like that. For those of you so let's plug stuff at the same time.
Yes, please.
So for those of you who've been following Montreal by Night every Monday on my channel at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, for the month of November, we were taking a break because we're playtesting the horror game that I've been working on, One Frightful Night. And it just so happens that at the end of our last session, I had a chat with the players, and they've given me an idea about making this like an anthology type of game.
Oh, nice. Nice.
With you keeping some of the skills of your old character into your new character. And I'm like,
it's awesome.
Now I might actually look into Sandman a bit more.
Yeah.
Because it's something that I've been like thinking about. But yeah, we have two more sessions of this very horrible game where Yutsai sped run his death, basically. He survived. Barely, but now we know we've seen the monster, which is a giant amalgamation of legs and arms.
An
and in the
armalgamation.
center of it all, an amalgamation. But in the center of it all, a big red eye.
Oh, hi, Sarah.
That's kind of disgusting. People said that it looked like the mannequin thing from Silent Hill, but I haven't seen that version of the movie. Or the monster from the Zygote, which looks a lot closer to what I had in mind, even though I know what I have in mind because I know what the inspiration is, and I'll share it later when we finish the game. But that's on Mondays. And then, of course, come December, we have the 2-part, basically the last 2 episodes of our 4th season of Vampire the Masquerade, which is going to be like a 2-parter finale type of thing, with the aftermath of, the cops showing up and blasting people to bits and a werewolf and stuff.
Awkward.
And then on Saturdays, coming back next Saturday, of course, we're playing Scion over on my channel at 1 p.m. Eastern. And that's it, I think, for now. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. And thank you to everyone who donated.
Thank you for everyone who donated. Oh, gosh. Okay. Lindy, I'm just going to gush, so I'm not going to gush. Lindy.
Okay. Gush afterwards.
Yes.
Yes. Hi, it's me, Laugh Love Lindy. Gosh, this was so much fun. I really I didn't know what to expect. I was like, I just know I have no prep to do. Cool. I'm gonna be as amnesiac as possible and swap accents until I figure out who kind of I am, and then try to stick with one. Because if you don't know, who's to say you wouldn't
a different one later.
Fuck around with them entire. I know. It's been slipping around intentionally. Because I'm a dork like that. But my favorite moments of today, I really have enjoyed just the wonkiness of everything. Thank you, Trooper, for that. I just really enjoy how Dr. Bright is like the first one on the scene every time, and therefore is like a little sus to the police, and also
just a little sus. Yeah.
His just notable silence while getting interrogated by the local authorities here.
Yep.
Just very good, very solid. Love it. Kind of figuring out who you are. I love.
By the way, for the record, you did a really good job of making sure they had nothing on you at all. Like there are so many ways in which that could have gone really badly for you in terms of really implicating you, but they couldn't get anything on you, and so the police,
the gun out.
But also not just that, like you did a really good job of like making sure you didn't contradict yourself, covering yourself really well. The chief of police is like, okay, I couldn't get you on anything.
Nope.
But I don't trust you, right? So like, but he couldn't get you because you all did a really good job. So I was like really excited about that.
We did. And then Rocket, of course, just being delightful and like kind of going the back and forth with me, like, what do we do?
Yeah.
And then just like all the movie, like, yeah, I'm a movie buff. Look at this person. Like, just like love it. I loved all that. Loved all that. I think Rocket's character was the movie buff, but I think my 1985 personality was a book buff. So probably actually did read Mein Kampf. So if we run into any Nazis, like, oh, you know, I've turned over a new leaf. I found it so enlightening. Chapter 34 especially, you know. Yeah.
But you don't like history though, that we learned about your character.
No, but I think does enjoy reading, and so would have read some of the classics. Flunked history class, which is different than reading books about stuff.
But you're also trained in archaeology and anthropology.
I am, which is going to fill in all the gaps. It's going to be beautiful. I'm not going to lie. A lot of my favorite moments from tonight were me. Because I felt so cool at some points. Like eating the gun out. I was like, fuck it. No fingerprints, gone. Stabbing the guy with the shard of glass. I did shocking amounts of violence today. And I'm not mad about it. Like, oh, there's only 2 bullets left in this gun. Well, they're not going into me. Poo-poo. Just
I appreciate that people got to feel badass in a way that also was still kind of desperate. Do you know what I mean? Like, because
it was very desperate.
It's not a high percentage, and you can die in this game. It is a thing because
I got close. I got halfway there, but he got all the way there, and that's what matters. You know me. I love a little violence every now and then, especially with a character I was like, oh, I don't think they're gonna be violent. They were playing it not violent at all, and then like stab in the gut, pow 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 pow, and it's just like, well, I'm shockingly adept at murder. Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna carry that in my personality now, so that'll be fun. Yeah, that's just it. I had a blast. I loved doing all the things and not getting implicated or caught in anything because we're awesome. And also just a really fun combo of me, Simon, and Rocket. So thank you for bringing the 3 of us together to play in this little game. You can find me online at Laugh Love Lindy, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, etc. I play in GM tabletop RPGs. You can find me not this coming Monday because we have swapped our Mondays games to a bi-weekly schedule to accommodate all of our players' work lives and things because we'd rather play with everyone there when we can. But we will be having our Stargate Flames of Hope finale on Tuesday with Trooper as our wonderful, illustrious guest. He is an AI on an ancient ship, and we're going who knows where to probably do something to fuck up some Goa'uld. So that'll be fun. And who knows, maybe we'll have a second Stargate season at some point. I don't know, but I'm excited about it. And on not this Wednesday, because it's the day before Thanksgiving and I have a lot of cooking and stuff to do. But we also will have running our Call of Cthulhu Below the Land of Fire campaign, where they make the best decisions. It's a group of people who've never played Call of Cthulhu before. They're on episode 12. And they're learning real fast. It's an utter delight. And Trooper made some cool music for that. And is going to be making some more.
I will be.
I'm very excited about. So thank you, Streamaversary, buddy. 7 years, and we're both going strong. Woo!
Yeah. 7 years. That's like 1 billion in cat years. And I'm troopersjp. Let's see. I think what I will say is this was amazing. I really enjoyed this. We only have a couple more episodes left of Traveler, the Gamblers for this season, and then we're going to be finished like mid-December. And I always try to leave a good gap so that I can schedule something else during that time period. And hey, we have some Sandman. Maybe we can schedule some Sandman in our break time to find out what happens, because I really want to know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, I need to know. I'm very excited to just play it through and find out more about you all, because I have looked at the cover of this box and I was like, why is there a biker gang? What is that? Like, are those like, what is this weird court jester? What is that? So there are clearly some things going on here that I was like, what is going on? And I really am excited to find out how you all play through and how you deal with adventure 2, because you're going to go somewhere else. And that will be really interesting in that moment, right? When you sort of get your level up and become this other, I've got questions. I want to see how it's going to go. I'm really excited. So that is this, and I'm troopersjp. We're going to take ourselves to credits. And when we do, after the credits are done, I'm going to go offline so that I can prep for the next thing, and then we will come back. We will be back probably shortly, much sooner than we think we will, for Chevalier, which will be it's a Jenga Tower cards, Wretched and Alone sort of game done by Susanna Grace. I'll be going solo myself. I've got to set up the cameras and the Jenga Tower and all of that, so we'll probably start anywhere between 5:30 and 6. And then after that will be Twilight Road. All of this is here to celebrate the Streamiversary, but also to celebrate time with my friends and with you all, and also to raise money for the GLBT Historical Society. And we've raised 350 out of 700 so far. And I want to thank everybody who's donated. But so this is this one I'm coming up next is going to be a solo game. And then after that, we'll have a good GM-less crew of pretty great folks, Pumpkinberry, Bill of the Forest, and Best Kind of Worst. So thank you all for being here for this amazing flop of a game, which I love. I'm just really excited to see how it keeps going.
Can't wait to play more.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll talk more. I'm going to take us to credits, and then we'll go down and be able to come back up after I arrange stuff. And I will see you shortly, everybody. Eat some food, drink some water, and stretch your legs. And we'll see you soon.